T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, gang. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. So, here we are. The sun has gone down. Let's get a little spooky. Yeah, no, not really spooky, but just talking about the horrors of Girl World and the nightmare fuel that ALR and Foodie Beauty produce. Hi, Grateful Life. Thank you so much. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not going to lie, because this is a dress, and I don't really do dresses. I don't really do makeup either. And I've had my makeup done since about lunchtime today, and it has been making me cuckoo because I can't touch my face, So it's taking some getting some adjusting to, Happy Halloween, Travis. Good to see you here. Hello, little mama. What is that? What is that? My little familiar. Come over here, honey bunch. Hi. So, I don't know how many of you guys have been keeping up with the Vlogmas situation, but today is the final day, and I gotta say, it was fun, but it was taxing. And God bless, I am so glad that daily uploading has come to a pause for the time being, because I have actually said previously that I more than likely would do Vlogtober, but at this point, I'm not entirely sure. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'll have the last video up for the month after this live stream. Can I help you? Can I help you? Come here, you. Come here, little angel. What? You didn't want to talk to me at all when I was sitting in there with you on the couch. You are just not happy unless you're the center of attention, aren't you? Typical cat behavior, I guess. So here's what all has been going on. One of the things that I had intended to tell you guys when I had said that there was some news that, I was going to share with you all, but that I would get to it later. I have actually decided to go back to school to get a degree in nursing home administration. Now, I had mentioned previously that I was going to do the training to be an ALF, an assisted living facility administrator, which is like a 40-hour class, and then you take a test. But nursing home administrators make quite a bit more money simply because, you are having to go through and get a degree and not just a certification. Come here. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you. Girl, this has been this right here by itself has been making me cuckoo all day. And then throw on top of it the fact that I'm having to wear a dress when I am not a dress person. Yeah, it is making me bonkers. And now you're making me bonkers. Can we pick a spot? Can we pick a spot? Thank you. You gonna settle? I can't have you all over the place. I can't have you all over the place. I can't get anything done with you right there unless you're going to lay down. Are you going to lay down? Hmm? Can we settle? You were so stubborn. You're being stubborn tonight. All right, now, come on. Come on now. I love you. You got to go somewhere. You got to pick a spot and settle. Come on. Come on. Come on. One way or the other. Come on. You are just, what is it? Is it the hat? Huh? Is it the hat throwing you off? Here. Is that better? Thank y'all. Sorry about that. I'm trying so hard to wrangle her, but she is bound and determined that she is not going to settle. And normally we make a couple of passes and then she picks a spot and lays down. But for some reason, she is just not in the mood for that tonight. So I'm hoping she'll change her mind and settle somewhere. Yes, they are. And I actually have like the video that I did earlier where I showed all of my, it's part of the upload later. I, went outside and was like showing y'all the whole outfit and everything. And, Romeo come up and was like headbutting my leg and rubbing on me and everything. I went to try to bend over to pet him. And this little dress thing, this has got to be like hooker dress type of deal because I went to bend down and my entire butt was hanging out. I had to like grab a hold of the back of it to hold it down so I could squat down to pet him. It was really bad. I was like, ooh, maybe I should have picked a different outfit. Add to it, the stockings that come with it were really uncomfortable and I was having to fight with them. Are we going to do this all night where we're playing musical seats between you and the hat, huh? So how are things with y'all? Did y'all get any trick-or-treaters? Because I didn't, not a one, including the neighbor, which was saying that they're going to come down. Sorry, y'all. It's hotter than Hades. It's hotter than Hades in here. I had to do something. I got to do something about that or I'm going to be in here sweating. Or did everybody in y'all's town go to trunk-or-treating too? Because apparently that's what happened to all the neighborhood kids. I mean, I have kids in every direction of me, and it just did not work out. Nobody came by, not even when the sun was up, so thanks, Camps. Come on. You got to pick a spot and settle, little lady. I love you, but you got to pick a spot and settle. So instead of fussing at this cat, let's do something a little bit more, maybe a little bit more entertaining. Definitely a little bit more nightmare inducing, more than likely. Let's talk about our two favorite psychopaths here. Yeah, see, I guess that's just not a thing anymore. I don't know. Which is really kind of sad because to me, that's like the whole fun behind it is going like house to house and seeing people's, decorations and, seeing other people's costumes and all that stuff. Shut up, ALR. I did not press play on that. Thank you very much. Mainly because I didn't have the volume up. Okay, so let's get into this foolishness.
Notice, I think yesterday is when it really started hitting me that, I'm alone. I live by myself. I have lost the person that I thought I was going to spend forever with. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, you guys broke up, literally in July. Why are you still hung up on this? Because all that time that we were living together, things were very confusing. There were chunks of time where it felt like we were still in a relationship.
This right here speaks to a lot about Amber. You gotta pick this. Okay, you laying down finally? Thank you. You're a sweet girl. I'll rub your belly. I'm so glad you picked a spot finally. This speaks a lot to Amber. Well, that's asking too much. That would require something called work, and we know Amber doesn't do work. But this whole situation with it still felt like we were together. Just because you reside in the same space does not mean that you have any semblance of being together. That's you being roommates. And I mean, even that whole supposed hookup thing. I mean, which I don't believe that happened, because let's be realistic here. I don't think Amber has sex with anybody. And if she does, it rarely happens. Um, Even that doesn't make you together. This is a sign of emotional immaturity, that you connect those things with being in a relationship, mainly because you don't know what a real relationship is because you've never been in one. This is like, this sort of behavior is like teenage range. You're talking about like 12 to 16, 17, 18, in that range. Oh, we're living together, and we were playing house, so that means that we must have still been in a relationship. I can finally put my hat back on. She's done settled. I can put my hat back on. Very true. Very, very true. Everybody coming through with everybody coming through with big brain energy tonight. How did I manage that? Yes, and most of them would probably be of the feeder sort that would want to make her bigger. Yeah. She is only designed for specific groups.
Living alone at 32 years old, it's just like I have a lot of different types of feeling.
Oh my God, it sucks to be a grown-up.
I did it! I made a circle.
I left that in there because, like, the level of excitement over something as simple as putting together a hoop. Tell me you've never accomplished anything in your life.
Remove the plastic ring from the screw base. Huh?
She does. I personally think that she does stuff like this right here to make herself look more dumb. I mean, if we're talking about somebody who's such an avid reader, then she would understand exactly what those instructions are saying, including the fact that there are photos there that show you. She loves to do this whole, I'm so stupid, I don't understand, can you do it for me? I don't even know where that voice came from, you guys. That was priceless. I have got to figure out how to master that, and that will become our ALR voice from here on in. That was pretty good. And I wasn't even really focusing. I was just doing it. I was winging it.
You don't have OCD. You have OBCD. Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Books is good for the brain?
Yeah, it looks like a big cherry.
Big? Are you calling me big?
No, talk about me.
First off, this face right here, the boo-boo, you are a bad actress. You are terribly, terribly awful at this shit. You can't get your vocals to line up with your lips. You are a god-awful actor. Okay? Just stop. You are embarrassing yourself. Secondarily, these are all clips that people out here in the girlverse that we make fun of, because it's not us laughing because it's funny. We're laughing because she's an idiot. And she thinks that by us laughing about it, that she thinks she's funny. But pretty much like her and Foodie, they both seem to think that they are funnier than they actually are. The fact is they're not funny. They are actually funny when they are not trying to be. They say stuff and do stuff that make us laugh at them rather than with them. And apparently Amber doesn't seem to connect that. She seems to think that we're laughing at her. We're not laughing at her, we're laughing with her. And she doesn't really understand that it's the complete opposite, Well, ALR don't have a lot of things, but she just loves to collect diagnoses, anything that can be used as a shield from criticism. That's just generally the way it goes with people like her. Planetary. I say we start calling her Pluto. I mean, because, it is this, it's technically the smallest planet in the universe, but, we could substitute it out with ALR, So we're going to continue. Continue.
When I see her eat something that's bad for her, it breaks my heart because she doesn't understand nutrition like I do. Like my hair, like for the longest time.
Exactly. Grateful knows where I'm coming from. Hi, Fiona's mom. How you doing? It's good to see you, honey.
Just does not want to accept a curl. Like I literally cannot curl my hair for the life of me.
That would be because you don't wash your hair, boo-boo. If your hair were clean, maybe it would be a possibility. So there's number one. Number two, your hair is incredibly long. And as somebody who used to have their hair down to their butt, I even attempted to perm my hair at that length and it would not curl. The only way you're going to get the type of effects that you want is if you cut your hair. But wait, we already know that will never happen because the hair is the only pretty thing about her.
Hey, how y'all doing? Is it cold in here? 37 degrees. Do you guys need a coat?
She thinks she is incredibly quirky with stupid stuff like this. That's okay, Jojo B. I figured you had to be in here somewhere. You were just kind of lurking about. It's all good. Yeah, well, God's honest truth, girl, with all of the Vlogtober stuff and just life in general, I figured, you know what? Now would be a good time for a mental health break from the psychosis of these two. So, I mean, obviously, now that I'm not doing all the Vlogtober stuff, I will have a little bit more time to devote. But I don't think I'll be doing it nearly as frequently, maybe once a week, just like a recapping thing, throwing my thoughts out there sort of deal. But these two, they infuriate me. And I said it at one point, and a couple of people actually agreed with me. These two, her and Foodie, they are getting incredibly redundant, and it's just mentally taxing, you know, if that makes any sense. True enough. I'm the same way. I am very minimalist on stuff that I keep in my house. If I bring something in that room has got to go. If I haven't used it in a while, I give it 6 months. If I haven't used something in 6 months and I bring something new into my house, something out of that room has got to go. If it's been more than 6 months, it's out. It gets donated. Because if I haven't used in 6 months, I obviously don't need it. What was that? Are you okay? I don't know if y'all heard that or not. He just belched. God bless. Right. The fact that she just moved and then here we are and we're cluttery already, it is just insane to me. Yeah. I mean, well, a Foodie too, because it's the same bullshit over and over and over again. You know, with ALR, it's, my heart's broken. Like I wake up every day and I'm just in a state of spiritual unrest, you know, and it's just the worst thing that could ever happen, you guys. And then you have Foodie who's like, I'm a Muslim revert and, you know, I am not giving my time to haters anymore. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so busy. I've got to go grocery shopping and I got to cook dinner for my husband. And who the fuck are you to talk about me not being a proper Muslim? You're not even a Jew, and and round and round and round we go. So, you know, I mean, it is literally the same set of conversations from one video to the next. That's why, like, the little bit of stuff that is in this compilation that I've cropped down, this is really actually providing something more than the usual bullshit. And even some of that stuff is really hard to believe, you know. It's just, yeah, I honestly think so too, Camps, because God's honest truth. I mean, I have made the comment that, you know, and Foodie actually said it too in a live recently, that most people wait until it's, until it's too late. And that's realistically, we're past that point with both of them. Foodie's been told that she has, fatty liver disease, which, if you don't repair that, it progresses and it eventually fucking kills you. Okay. So there's that. She has respiratory problems secondary to the fact that she has an enlarged heart, which she's admitted to and tried to blame it on her COVID vaccines, but she had the enlarged heart problem before the vaccines. Okay. And then she's swollen everywhere, including a belly full of fluid. Now, no, it's not just fluid, but she's a fat girl. She just got fluid built up in there too. That's why she looks the way she does. I mean, she is one medical emergency from being bedbound. And it's been my experience that once you get bedbound, you're fucking done. You literally rot away. And then you have ALR here who's had cancer, and neither of these things that would scare the normal average human being has fazed them in the slightest. Instead, they boohoo cry, oh, pat me on the ass and tell me you feel sorry for me. But they don't do anything about what caused the problem to begin with. And that's what makes them different from the average sane human being. Excuse you. Hi. What are you doing? Can we come over here? Thank you. And I can't wrap my mind around it, because the God's honest truth, everybody in girl world out here, as much as I hate to say this, we are literally screaming into the void, because nothing that we ever say, come here, is ever going to land. None of it is ever going to land. It is not ever going to reach them. They don't want to hear it, because it is not telling them they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, that they're this great and wonderful whatever, and that is just a fact, Exactly, Travis. I have said that before. You don't use it, you lose it. And people like ALR and Foodie don't seem to understand that. They also don't seem to understand, too, that the longer they go on like this, the more fragile their bones get. People end up with osteoporosis. Young people end up with osteoporosis when they have morbid, super morbid obesity like this. And despite this whole being worried about falling down and not being able to get up, there are so many other things that they should be worried about. And they don't seem to understand that. They just don't want to hear it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. I am of the mind. I'm of the position that both of these girls, they will not live to see my age. I will be wholeheartedly shocked if they do. And me, I still consider myself very young. I still have quite a bit of my life ahead of me, But these two, this is the duration of their life. They have resigned themselves to the fact that they're not going to live to be old, especially Foodie. Foodie has a total aversion to being old. That's why she goes after old people the way that she does, because she doesn't like the fact that they have been able to age when she knows that she won't. So it's just a thought. Yeah, it's very sad to have people die really young like that, especially when it's something that they have complete control over. It's really, 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 really bad, especially when there's so much ahead of them that they could have actually experienced and enjoyed. Yeah. See, I'm surprised they actually pulled that much from you in that short of a time frame, Fiona's mom, because God's honest truth, they try not to do an excessive amount in one go, because it can actually throw you into shock, because of your body's homeostasis. If you pull too much fluid off at one time, it's usually no more than 1,000 cc's at a time. It can actually throw the body out of sync, and cause all sorts of problems. So holy moly, they must have been doing some heavy duty working on you to get that much fluid off. But I bet you felt so much better though, right? You probably felt like you could take a good solid breath for the first time in a long time, you know? Okay, see, there you go. There you go. And there's a lot of that going on where they just don't care. They want what they want in the moment. It's about the instant gratification. It's about the dopamine hit. It's not so much about, I want to see tomorrow. I want to feel good right now. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think everybody in this great wide world is wired that way. We all want to feel good. You know, that's just how we're designed. Things that feel good make us happy. You know, that's just the way it is. But the difference is that a lot of us that are normal people, we will only carry that so far. We will not sacrifice things at the cost of feeling good. You know, we won't sacrifice the bills being paid just so that we can feel good. We won't sacrifice our ability to get out of the bed and walk around and be comfortable on our feet simply for the sake of feeling good. But these girls here do. And that's a big part of what makes their mental illness so obvious, you know. Hey, Janet, how you doing, darling? It's good to see you. Oh, see, I bet you did, you know, bet you did, especially with that amount of fluid on you, girl, it'll cause all kind of issues. So look at this one right here. So the desperation to be quirky is just out of control when you're using a butter knife to eat an olive.
These are green olives and I'm obsessed.
You don't say.
Me at bingo.
So this whole me at bingo, my mom at bingo, and she's giggling and cackling and all that stuff. You can't tell me that there weren't a bunch of people in that room looking at her, acting a fool, and that she did not feel self-conscious about all that, because she's one of those ones, her and Foodie both, that like to claim they're not self-conscious when people gawk at them, but they behave in a way that kind of tells on them and saying that it does bother them. Now, I included this whole clip with this ice cream thing or sherbet or whatever the heck this is, simply because she titled the video that this was in as "No Takeaway." Just because you don't walk out of the building with it does not make that a win. You are still eating ice cream that you don't need. You have still ate food from fast food restaurants that you don't need. So she's going to try to claim this as a win. Y'all, I haven't ordered takeout the entire time I've been here, the last 2 weeks. Okay. So you didn't have it delivered to the house. That doesn't change the fact that you still ate out. It's the same thing. The only difference is you didn't order it on your phone and wait for it to be brought to you. Very true. That's why I think on that clip with her mom, where, you know, she was all like, it's because she doesn't know how to act when there are people around her. She can't fake that confidence when there's people looking at her like that. Oh yeah, no question. No question. The performative dainty bite. I love it.
Okay, we have story time with my mom. The reason why I have to walk 3 miles to get to any store. All right, Mom, let's hear it.
She does. I can't help it. I will drive circles in a parking lot until I find that right spot.
Yes.
Say you're mad about having to walk say you're mad without having to walk. And at one point she was like, oh yeah, I love it. I love it. And it was hella performative. Okay. And then she was like, yeah, I totally need it. I totally need it. Yeah, boo-boo, you do need it. Maybe your mom parking way the hell out in the middle of nowhere needs to happen every single time you leave the house, and not for the sake of mom's car, but for the sake of your heart and the rest of your body. You know, it is the other thing too. And I wanted to point this out, and this is part of why I put this clip in here. Do you notice that Amber's mom actually has more personality than Amber does? Amber's mom actually seems like a genuinely fun person. The laughter coming from her mom was actually genuine versus that thing that Amber does, trying to be quirky. Her mom is actually has a personality. The sad thing is Amber is going to probably try to emulate it, and she's going to fail at it because she fails at it every time she does it. Oh, girl, I know. And then wants to be surprised that the lymphedema and the lipedema is the way that it is, right? Because, she knows everything about nutrition, y'all. No, I don't think so. I honestly think that most of the things that she does, I think she does the bare minimum right off the bat, number one. Number two, I think she is terrified of being alone. She actually has a clip of her where she gets in the shower, and it's a walk-in shower. But I honestly can almost guarantee you that every single second that she's in that shower, she is praying, despite being an agnostic. She is praying to the universe, to Allah, to God, to Buddha, to her ancestors of the past, that she don't fall in that shower. And I can almost guarantee you she does that every time that she takes a shower, every 2 or 3 weeks, simply because, she is terrified of being by herself. And that's the whole reason why we have this cycle of girlfriend shopping on TikTok, because she is terrified of something happening to her and nobody being there. God's honest truth? Probably. Probably, but she will never tell Amber that. You know what I'm saying? She will use the car as an excuse. That's very true, Travis. The problem is that they would actually have to want to go. They would actually have to want to participate, and they would actually have to want to change, and they don't want to do any of that. They want the instant gratification. They want the instant fix. They want to go to the therapist and all of a sudden be healed. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't work that way. And that's part of the reason why these two will never benefit from therapy.
I got this super cute purse.
That is not cute.
Only $25. I don't know. Something about Sherpa just gets me going.
Sherpa gets her going. Tell me you got a dry snatch without telling me you got one, okay? Sister girl got tumbleweeds rolling through the vajayjay if Sherpa is what gets you going. Another thing, and please make this make sense for me, okay? As much money as we can speculate that she makes in a year, why would you be buying something that looks like that? How tacky are you that you think that bag is cute? I wholeheartedly agree, Camps. And I can speak to that. I have been through plenty of stuff where nothing worth having comes by the easy route. The difference is that these girls, they are incredibly comfortable with being comfortable. But change is not wrought through comfort. It never is.
I got beef and broccoli with some rice. I didn't eat that much, honestly. Here is a close-up. It was actually very, very tasty, but I just don't feel that hungry.
X'd it out. I'm pretty sure that if it tasted pretty good, which kind of tells you she didn't like it if she said pretty good. But if it was actually really good, she wouldn't have had that much left in that bowl. We know that. We've seen her. She seems to think that we're brand new, that everybody out here is brand new, her and Foodie both. But if you spend enough time in the Girlverse, it doesn't take long for you to pick up those cues where these two are concerned.
I've always wanted to go to a casino. I know that's so weird, but it is something on my bucket list.
Funny that she's never mentioned that before, right? Very dangerous environment for her to be in, by the way.
Okay, what do I do? 75. Do I press this button? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Isn't it funny that she chose a game where you are collecting cows? I'm sorry, I had to include it because I'm going to tell you the irony of it all was not lost on me.
I don't know what to say.
It's been over 2 weeks. Oh, I haven't been on track for 2 weeks.
Pumpkin, you haven't been on track for 10 years.
I don't know what that looks like.
No shit.
I woke up today extremely depressed because I'm just going to say my love life. We're just forced.
You're depressed because of your love life. You're not depressed because you're 500 plus pounds and you can't see your feet. You're not depressed that, you are on the short bus on a quick trip to an early grave. You're not depressed about the fact that you are so manipulative and psychologically damaged that you can't relate to any human being around you and thus can't form actual real relationships, whether it be with partners or family members or even friends. Okay, so we're not depressed about the fact that we can't even see our own vajayjay, much less wash it, that we're one misstep away from being the old lady in the commercial for the ADT alert system, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. But when the time comes that it happens, there will be nobody there to help you. So we don't want to be depressed about all that shit, which is, truly life altering, but we want to be butthurt about the fact that we can't claim that we've got a girlfriend. The priorities, y'all.
Myself to get up. I forced myself to eat something.
I forced myself to get up. I forced myself to eat something. Says the woman who's still 500 plus pounds. We already know that I forced myself to eat something is total bullshit because just to maintain her current weight, she has to have 3,300 calories a day.
Even though I did not want to at all. And then I forced myself to do some makeup so I can film because I don't like filming without it anymore. It's just like a thing.
It's like a thing. No, you put your makeup on because you're a narcissist who can't stand to look at yourself and actually see yourself for how you are. Let's just call it what it is.
Still have these that I have to get rid of. There used to be so many, and you're supposed to set them out for trash valet, but I feel bad, so I've only put out like 1 to 2 a day.
I left that in here because I wanted to point this out. I feel bad, so I leave 1 to 2 boxes a day. Okay, here's the problem with this. Here's the problem with the rationale. You feel bad about taking that all out and having them all carried out in one go, and them not having to actually do just one trip. If they could have took that all away, you could have folded them all up and stuck them in that single open box, and it could have been gone in one trip. But instead, you're putting it out a little bit at the time every single day, actually causing your garbage valet, and how fucking lazy is that? But your garbage valet to have to make a trip every single day from your door to the dumpster. That's what you call inconsiderate. What it is. I'm sorry. That little shit like that bothers me. I actually do things to try to make things easier for other people. That is just how I was raised. You do the right thing. You try to go ahead and knock stuff out. You try to cut down on, like, work smarter, not harder. And you do things in a way to make it work smarter and not harder for other people, because there are people who are probably just like us who are like, oh, I'm just not feeling it today. And I don't want to do all these. I don't want to do all this walking. I didn't sleep well, whatever. And here you are, you're running this person for maintenance every single day from your door to the freaking dumpster. Just because you don't want to you don't want to take the effort to actually take that whole box of empty boxes and set them outside your door. That's just lazy.
My mom's boyfriend is literally the sweetest thing. I turn my back and he's hooking up my TV for me. So
I can almost guarantee you she asked him to do that because she's not mentally equipped to use Google to figure out how to hook up her own TV, you know? But she loves to make it seem like people are just doing things for her out of the kindness of their heart.
My cat Rarity slept on me last night, slept on my chest, so my eye is kind of having a moment because I'm allergic to my cats, as you guys know.
We've talked about this and the fact that this one right here doesn't wash her face before she goes to bed, which will include the fact that she has eyeliner and mascara and eyeshadow and everything else on her face when she goes to bed. She's freely admitted that this will probably be a lifelong issue, a lifelong habit for her. But I still don't think that she's connected the fact that she doesn't wash her face and the fact that she wakes up with her eyes all funkified. It may actually have less to do with the cats than it does with the fact that she goes to bed with a pound of makeup on her face.
This month, by the way, is my decade birthday of being on YouTube.
A decade of non-tent. I just can't even wrap my mind around it.
Here's to another decade. Can you imagine in 20 years? I'm like, hey, y'all. I'm 42, still on YouTube, still doing my damn thing.
Okay. I left that in there because we've seen what her doing her damn thing looks like. Ordering DoorDash, gaining weight, boohoo crying about her mental health, doing nothing about it, cycling through women that she uses as housekeepers, and putting out trash content all day. When are people going to get sick of her shit? I mean, God's honest truth. How does she not get burnt the fuck out on not having anything to talk about or anything to do to talk about? I mean, 30 days of daily uploading for me was hard. And I don't just sit at home. I go out, I do things, I shop, I went and, went places, I did things, there was a whole, I am like a 50-50 type of personality. That 50%, I will go out, I will get into things, I will try things out, I'll go out and meet people and, just to leave the house because I get tired of being at home all the time. But that 50% of the time that I'm home, I'm bumming it out. I'm wearing the jams, I'm watching TV, I'm hanging with the fuzzies. I am just, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm, doing all those day-to-day adult activities. And even I was having trouble figuring out what I was going to upload every day for 30 days. And that's with me leaving the house half the time, And that's why I said, I'm glad today is the last day because I was just like, I got into like day 15 and I was like, what did I get myself into? Holy crap. But maybe the difference between me and her is that I actually care about what I upload. I mean, we've seen her. Her vlogs are no more than 10 minutes at 10-minute sections. It is literally her. Hello, hello, hello. Let's do my makeup. Hi, here's what I'm wearing today. Hi, here's what I'm eating today. Oh, look at my cat. Oh, you guys, my love life's so bad. Oh my God, I'm so depressed. And then no ending to it. So, I mean, how could you be okay with putting out such low level content? And maybe I have that feeling about it because I'm new to this still, or maybe it's just because of how I was raised, that if you do it, you go in all in on it, She absolutely won't see 50. She'll be doing good if she sees 40 because she's 32 right now. God's honest truth. I don't think that I would have any difficulty finding things to do. Okay. Mainly because like if that's all I had to do and I was making the kind of money that Amber was making, I would find things to do. I would be trying things out. Be like, okay, today we're going to try spray paint art for the first time. Today we're going to try macrame. Today we're going to try whatever, you name it. And whenever something I felt like we would try it, I would give my impression. I would make a fool of myself. I'd make a mess, because there are so many things out there in this world, especially that don't involve food, that you can try. Today, y'all, we're going to the library and we're going to see what I can find that is in my particular genre of reading lists, something as simple as that. Just leaving the house would be definitely better than anything that she's given us thus far, but she's incredibly lazy is what most of her issue is.
I'm listening to your mama. Yes, I am. He's so cute.
I left that in about your mama because do we notice that little squealing thing that she did about how your mama is so cute? This is at least the second guy that she has had some sort of feminine, attractive response to. It almost leads me to believe that she may actually be more bi than lesbian. But, that's speculation. She used to go to the gym, believe it or not. She was a lot smaller during that time frame, too. According to her, he is. I'll rephrase. Your mama is not a bad-looking gentleman. I have definitely seen worse. What throws me about him is the laugh. It's the bravado. He's just a lot. He's just a lot for me, his content is not bad, he's very entertaining and whatnot, but the laugh is one I can't really it gets a little grating to me after a little bit. And then, some of the, what do you call them? Some of the skits that he does the humor doesn't really line up for me. So I watch him kind of hit and miss, just depending upon what the topic is, so. Well, yeah, but most guys, if they have any level of confidence, can be an asshole. So, you kind of have to overlook that. All right, let us continue with the ambula.
Type deal. Like, I made that up, but I've said it so much, and now other people say it to me, that I am like, did I start something? Did I start a revolution?
She was trying to determine if she came up without the yin yang. So she looked it up because she wanted to see if that was something that she came up with. Because she was hoping that she had created something. Relevance. And situation type deal is really not that catchy. The only people that use that are people in the girl world. And it's never really going to catch on like that. It's kind of, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never going to happen. Okay. It's this situation type of deal thing is only going to be a girl world thing because people that don't watch her don't understand, will not connect the reference. The other thing too is it's like her talking about it's a whole thing and this and that. The terminology that she uses is, it's just very grating.
Not brush my hair when my hair is wet. That's a no for me. I just noticed from my experience, it takes out a lot of my hair.
And we're just not going to acknowledge the fact that she's been pretty much in a perpetual state of menopause since she lost her hoo-ha, and that she doesn't follow her medication regimen the way she's supposed to. And one of the things that happens during menopause is you have drastic hair thinning. I don't think it's just brushing your hair when it's wet that causes it to fall out. And I imagine if anybody went into her house, they would find hair everywhere. And I'm not talking about Twinkie Star's hair either. I'm talking about hers.
These are things that I actually need. So we have a box and a bag. I've been seeing this everywhere. It's the His Smile color corrector serum is what they call it. It's for your teeth. And everyone just swears by it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have seen this ad literally everywhere. So I will try this last. So I just got a black pair.
She says, these are both things that I need. She ordered that the High Smile, not His Smile, toothpaste. Which she saw it on TikTok, and the only reason she ordered it is so she had something to do a review on, and actually said, I may actually video while I'm using it. This is her producing herself some content. She bought this strictly for the purpose of trying to video with it. That's all that was. First off, Amber doesn't really drink coffee like that. She doesn't drink sodas like that to where she has to worry about her teeth being discolored. So she didn't actually really need that. She could have just bought some whitening toothpaste and been fine. You know what I'm saying? And the flats, the girl has so many pairs of flats. I don't understand the thought process behind her shopping, but do you? Right. Both of them are menopausal, and they seem to ignore that. That's part of the reason why Foodie, I think, ended up having to shave her head, because that whole friar tuck thing she had going on ended up the way that it did, because she absolutely, completely, 100% neglected to take some sort of HRT replacement. And, everybody loves to say, oh, it's alopecia, it's alopecia. Yeah, it's alopecia, but what the version that she has is treatable. The difference is neither of them really care enough to listen. And then they want to get butt hurting in their feelings and say, don't shame me whenever you point out to them that they caused their issue. You know what I'm saying? I got to say, I have met little old ladies in the nursing home who have went through menopause, like in the 50s and 60s, when they didn't really do the HRT thing like that. And these little old ladies with their pretty thick silver hair, and I have told them, I was like, I can only imagine how thick and lustrous your hair was as a young woman, because you've still got thick, pretty hair right now. I'm like, I want to be just like you when I get old, And I got to say, I'm incredibly lucky. I mean, my hair is relatively thick. I've been told before that it was thin years ago. But this lady that takes care of my hair now, she was always like, oh, you've got such thick hair. But, I take that culmination of vitamins and everything every day to help strengthen my body and strengthen my hair and make sure that my hormones are balanced. And then I take the HRT and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that the little bit of regular daily, because you lose a certain amount of hair every day anyway. That's just part of how your body functions. But I'm hoping that I won't end up like these two, because I kind of like my hair where it is, Yeah, that's exactly a bad decision, especially when it comes to their mental health meds, especially Foodie, because Foodie will only take them for like a handful of weeks at a time. And then she stops them cold turkey. Simply because she's like, oh, I feel better now. I don't need them now, And there are a lot of people that have those sorts of issues that end up in like really bad psychological emergencies because they quit their meds cold turkey, because they tell you to taper them up, obviously, to build a level up and to cut down on secondary side effects. But you should taper them down before you come off them, not just take, 100 milligram dose of whatever, and then the next day not take anything. It can create all kind of problems. Right, girl, right. Jojo, I don't know if you saw the video that I did for my skin, and all the various health supplements and stuff that I take, but there are some of them that are really good for the hair. and really good for the skin. So maybe you could work one or two of those in, like with your multivitamin every day. Maybe you'll see a difference. I mean, I know that since I started taking certain ones, that like my hair has had a lot more, it's grown a lot fast, started to grow a lot faster than it used to. And I've noticed a change like in the thickness of it. So can't hurt, you know? Right. Too lazy to stick to anything. That's absolutely true. All right. We're going to keep going.
Because it goes with literally everything. So that's all I got. I also love just comforting food, and this is comforting to me.
I just love comforting food, and this is comforting to me. Wouldn't that say that every food that she has is comforting for her? Because every food for her is a comfort in some way. She utilizes the food as a method to deal with her hurt, to deal with her anger, to deal with her sadness, to deal with her happiness. She doesn't really sit and process her emotions. Her natural response is to either associate or medicate it with food. So I thought that statement was really interesting when she made it, that she's like, I really love comfort food, and this food is really comforting. So that didn't make that. I just had to say that.
Special.
I put that in there because she made the claim that washer has been making that noise just about the entire time she's been in this apartment, and that initially she thought that it was because she was putting too many clothes in the washer. So now she's doing more frequent, smaller loads, and that she hasn't said anything to anybody in maintenance because she doesn't want to be a bother. I think, why, number one, would you continue to do laundry in that thing until you had somebody look at it? Because number one, something can happen to that washer, and then the place is out of the cost of a washer. Okay. Number two, it'll be more of a bother if they have to replace the washer or repair the washer than it would if they had to come in and just do something as simple as regular maintenance on it, because all appliances have to have regular maintenance done on them. But third of all, why would you sit there and subject yourself to a loud ass washing machine just so you don't have to call anybody into your apartment because you don't want to have to deal with anybody? I don't understand. I don't understand the rationale behind that. I'm one of those people that, as soon as I notice something is wrong, it's getting dealt with because it can turn into a bigger problem later. Right. A brick.
The first 3 minutes of waking up, because I'm just hit with this wave of just heartbreak, depression, loneliness, the worst feelings you can feel. Just going to.
Here we are again. We've equated the being dumped to the worst feeling you could ever feel. Tell me you've never been homeless. Tell me you've never lost someone that you've loved to death in any manner, shape, fashion, or form. Okay. Tell me that you have never lost a limb. Tell me that you have never had any drastic illness or issue that would cause you any sort of pain. Tell me that you have coasted and that you are desperate for something to give you victim points, because that's what this reads as bad as that sounds.
Bingo and the casino feel addictive to you? No, not at all. If I'm being honest, bingo is kind of boring, and I could never go to a casino for the rest of my life and totally be fine. So
this is the girl that had Feline give her 100 scratch-off tickets for Christmas. Okay. Reality is, we know this. We have established through self-reported history for her that both of her parents are addicts. We know that she is a food addict. We know that cross addiction is a thing. We know that Amber is very free and loose with her money. it would not surprise me if we don't see her in the casino more often. The only reason, like she equates it to, like, I think hang on.
Things like gambling, for me, it's not an addictive thing for me at all. So
Yet.
For a girlfriend right now.
Yet. It is not an addictive thing for her yet. The fact is that addiction works. Addiction with gambling works the same way as it does with any other addiction. When you get instant gratification from pushing that button on that machine that is reinforced by a win, it gives you a dopamine hit. It is all wired into the same addiction center of the brain. And she can't say that it holds no addictive prospect for her. I mean, she may not have that now, but there is nothing saying that she's exempt from it, because even the most reliable, responsible individuals have ended up addicted to gambling. Right. She doesn't know a thing in the world about pain. And that's part of the reason why, like, realistically, if you'll think about it, that's one of the reasons why she would never be able to go through the process to actually have weight loss surgery done. She would probably malinger, and her recovery time would stall because, number one, she would want to stay in the hospital and have people wait on her hand and foot because she wouldn't want to do anything. Two, she would want pain medication consistently up until the point, hell, probably even after she was released from the hospital. I mean, this is going to sound a kind of way. I am not trying to say anything specifically about people's individual reads of pain, but I have a rather high pain tolerance. I had my weight loss surgery. I stayed in the hospital overnight, one night, which is not normal because my blood pressure after surgery was elevated. So, they held on to me just for good measure. Within 12 hours of being put upstairs into a room, I was walking the hallways and they were encouraging me to do that. The next day, after they said, if you can walk 5 times around this floor, and it was pretty big size floor, like, if you can walk 5 times around this floor, we'll release you. And believe you me, within that hour, them telling me that, I had completed 5 laps. And every time I went by the nurse's station, I was like, this is number 2. This is number 3. And I was pushing myself to go home, even though, I was still uncomfortable, because that's the unfortunate hazard of being cut on. You're going to be uncomfortable. They sent me home with liquid pain medications. And because it was so friggin' disgusting, I never took them. I would take like liquid Tylenol or liquid ibuprofen. I would take some liquid Benadryl to make me sleep at night so that I was comfortable. And we know that ALR would not do this. She would not want to take any medication they sent home with her. And she would want everything to be given to her by IV, so. Right. Well, heart attacks are very scary, especially they tend to be very scary and painful for men because, I say because, to me, men and women are geared very differently. Women, our heart attacks are very subtle. The symptoms for women don't really line up the same way as they do for men. I think mainly it's because, for women, we listen more to what our body is telling us. Whereas you guys, you figure I'll push through, it'll be okay, whatever. And it takes that big, scary, painful event to actually get some guys to actually go, oh, holy shit, there's something seriously wrong. I got to get some help. So it makes sense that it was kind of scary for you because, otherwise, if it was some sort of minor little momentary pain, like in a pectoral muscle, you might have kept going, which would have been very detrimental and life-threatening. So, I'm glad that there was a little scary part to it there, because scary made you follow through, and it may very well have saved your life, Travis. And, we want you here. We want you here as long as we can have you here. You know what I mean? Not just us, but everybody who loves you out there, But I'm glad to hear that you're okay. I'm glad to hear you're okay. You taking your aspirin and your fish oil to keep your heart healthy now? Because that's a quick way to do it. All right.
No, I want to be single. I don't want to be in a relationship. It's not something that like I'm
gonna back this up real quick. She says, I don't want to be in a relationship.
Totally be fine. So
Watch
things like gambling, for
Wait.
me, I just, it's not an addictive thing for me at all. So
You see, she shook her head no there. It's not an addictive thing for me at all. We've talked about Amber and the fact that she subconsciously tells on herself she's a really bad liar. She's shaking her head no, this is not an addictive thing for me. Okay. And then we get into the girlfriend thing and watch what she says when I don't want to be in a relationship.
looking for a girlfriend right now. No, I want to be single. I don't want to be in a relationship. It's not
I don't want to
something
be in
that
a
like I'm
relationship.
looking for, which is crazy because it's like I feel like I've always been in a relationship or just like looking for one. Will we eventually?
What? Everybody deserves kindness, Travis. And I meant what I said. There's plenty of people out here in this great wide world that love and appreciate you and want you here and take me. I mean, yeah, I can be a little harsh on these girls here, but I am doing it out of a place of concern. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know them as people. I don't particularly like them, but I want people to do better for themselves. I want people to be the best possible versions of themselves that they can be so that they can be happy. And I mean, God's honest truth. I got to take this off a second. I'm having a random itch. I mean, realistically, you cannot tell me, despite how much these young ladies like to declare how happy they are, there is no way that they are, because what they show us, it's kind of like her saying she doesn't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. They tell on themselves. What they show us versus what they say don't line up, and seeing that, there is a level of pity for them, but at the same time, there's a level of anger too, because they could do something about it. You did something about it. You didn't ignore the pain, the symptoms that you have going on. There have been plenty of people that are not here today. So I have nothing but kindness for that, because you didn't ignore it and you didn't end up cutting your life short because of it. And these ladies, that's why they infuriate me, because they ignore all those red flags, thinking that it's a circus parade or something. And then, life is great. Yeah.
We meet Mama Lynn, and does she want to be on YouTube? I hope so. My mom is super camera shy. I've asked her if she's ready to be on camera, and she's not, but she does like to talk a little, wave at you guys, whatever it may be, but she's not ready to be on camera.
God's honest truth, if Mama Lynn ends up on camera, I have a feeling people are going to like Mama Lynn more than they like Amber Lynn. Thank God for that. Medicine, as it evolves over the years and the more technology that we come out with, it is an amazing thing, and it can actually prevent things from happening long before they get to be an issue. And realistically, I don't think people utilize the preventative measure side of things as much as they should. And I really wish people would do that more. That's why, a lot of people get irritated about the fact that they have to go have blood work done, or they have to go to the doctor twice a year to get a checkup and stuff like that. But it's stuff like that catches things before they develop into something major. And I'm all for that. I'm all for catching things as soon as there's an issue, let's resolve it, because, I don't want to have any downtime if I can help it, because you know how it goes. I mean, you've said it, Travis. If you don't use it, you lose it. And when you're down, you're not using it, and I don't want to risk that. I don't want you to risk that either, or anybody else.
So there are 4 more questions that I will not be answering, but these are questions that I will be talking about in the near future, but I just want to let you guys know what it is. So these are the 4 questions that you guys will officially have answers to. Have you ever been asked to be on a reality TV show? What was the psychologist you said you were going to that specialized in something. What couldn't you tell us during your weight loss surgery journey that you can share now? And what was the thing that you were going to tell us once you moved? So all of that is going to be answered soon. There's just no way, because most of this is like story time-esque, so there's no way I can answer all 4 of these questions in this video.
She can, but she chooses not to. That is what we call dragging it out.
Okay, so random fact about me, I love a pickle.
That's not a random fact about her. The girl is perpetually swollen. We know that she loves anything with a high salt content. I don't know why she's trying to act like that's some sort of newsflash. Now, I didn't include this entire trip to the Science Museum. I included part of it. Exactly. Exactly, JoJo. I have no idea, Fiona's mom. I mean, most of it, she picks and chooses what she wants to answer, and then she ignores the rest of it, you know?
Magic.
Amber, what are you doing?
I left this in. I left this in because, of course, they would go somewhere like this because this entire Science Museum is really geared toward where Amber is mentally. When you look, if you go back and look at it, like a lot of it is for preteens, like early teens and preteens and young children. A whole section of nothing but tactile exhibits, like with various textures and shapes and stuff that you can stick your hands in and stuff like that. So of course that sort of thing would be appealing for Amber, but I left parts of it in to point that out, and to show that Amber has done more walking in this one outing than she has done in months.
Oh God, what if we get stuck in here?
They're in a glass maze. And I'm not going to tell you no lie. I started cackling when I was listening to this because all I could think is, I'm going to let her play up for a minute.
I got back in the wall.
Wait, is that a mirror? Oh yeah. Oh my God, claustrophobia.
Okay. 2 things. Oh my God, what if we got stuck in here? Number 1, you can't tell me that old girl, if at any point ever got into a situation where it came down to starving or cannibalism, that she wouldn't choose cannibalism. And 2, she's in a glass maze. You can't tell me that old sister wouldn't bust through that glass like the Kool-Aid man at any point if she thought that she would never be able to get out. It's very ugly thoughts to have, but you know, just saying. Oh, she absolutely does. There's no question about that. And the crazy thing is that if she were actually participating in therapy like she claims to have, that would have been something that they would have been working on, you know? No. They would be going, most adults would be the only way most adults would be doing something like this is if they were taking nieces and nephews and their children to this. You know, this is really more geared toward young children than 30-year-olds. I'm so glad you enjoyed that, JoJo. I just had to share that because I'm going to tell you, I laughed because that was exactly the thought process I had. She'd be busting through it like, yeah, you know, no question about it. And here we are again with Amber's obsessive need to touch things, but this is actually the only environment she's ever been in where it's appropriate. Okay, so this ambular got talked into going to church, and I'm not playing all this because it was just a short section. And then she talks about it afterward.
And by the way, church was actually so much fun. It was nothing like I expected. I've never been to a church like that. Like, a live band, like, that started off by singing Come Together, one of my most favorite songs ever.
Has anybody ever heard her say that before? Have we ever heard her sing that song before? I can almost guarantee you if you asked her who sang Come Together, she would not be able to tell you.
Once I started getting into the more like, I love Jesus, I love God, once it became that, I did feel a certain type of energy and I ended up crying, which honestly isn't surprising because every time I've gone to church, 9 times out of 10, I shed at least one tear.
But she's a germaphobe, remember? She's OCD. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So I left in the clip about the church thing because the whole, 9 times out of 10 when I've gone to church, I've ended up shedding a tear. Number one, I'm pretty sure, okay, first off, you can't tell me right off the jump that some of that, first off, I don't entirely believe that. Number two, if that did actually happen, more than likely it has to do with the musical side of things versus the sermon side of things, because Amber does not have any sort of spiritual base to her at all. She doesn't believe really in anything greater than herself. That's part of why she has the issues that she has. A lot of people with addictive problems the saying in most recovery programs is there is a God and I ain't it. When people are in active addiction, they view it as I am it. I am in control of everything. I'm in control of the people around me. I'm in control of my environment. I'm in control of myself, when we're anything but. If Amber realistically would find some sort of spiritual practice, whether it even be, anything, I mean, any religious avenue, meditation, anything, it would probably do a world of good for her mental health, because a lot of people who suffer from any sort of addiction, we are lacking a spiritual connection and foundation in ourselves. So just a thought, but her being this great, all-knowing, the smartest person in the room issue that she's got, she'll never hear that from anybody. That's part of the reason why I don't think that she went to more than one meeting of OA. The fact that there was a spiritual basis to it is probably what threw her, because being able to acknowledge that there was something beyond her, bigger in this great wide universe of ours, is not something that she is capable of fathoming.
Only way I can sleep is with these Ollie sleep melatonin.
Right. The sermon, and I'll get to that melatonin thing in a minute. Yeah, the sermon is absolutely more important, but right now, Amber was probably playing around on her phone. She was probably trying to record parts of it. And, she doesn't take that stuff seriously. I don't really think she's receptive. Hey, happy birthday, Patricia. It's good to see you, girl. It's just, I don't know. I got a lot of varying thoughts in relation to Amber and Foodie in relation to how they do things.
Gummies, they're amazing. And I'm running.
Oh, so the gummy thing, I included the gummy thing simply because that I can't sleep without these gummies thing. The fact is I'm pretty certain that Amber has some sort of obstructive airway issue that she has had undiagnosed, because she doesn't follow through on anything that she's told to follow through on. She realistically would probably need to have a CPAP, just like Foodie does. Because of her weight, it is almost unrealistic to think that at Amber's size that she would not need a CPAP, but what does that tell you about how I can almost guarantee you she's probably taking 2 of those gummies at a time. That's 10 milligrams of melatonin in one go. And what I don't think she understands is melatonin actually has a tendency to slow your breathing down. And I say that as somebody who uses melatonin to sleep every day. Well, I mean, that's a good point. I do agree with that. If she does sleep in the bed, I can almost see her almost tented up on, like propped up on like a tent of pillows. Um, because she swears up and down that she sleeps in the bed. Oh, yeah, no question on that. I mean, she loves to try to declare that she is not a diabetic, but she's also told us that diabetes runs in her family. So she has the genetic basis for it already encoded. She has the signs and symptoms of diabetes. Number one, she drinks just nonstop, having an excessive appetite. So excessive thirst, excessive appetite, genetic predisposition, and she has the discolored knuckles, which she likes to play off as something else. She has had the discolored ring around the neck. There are so many things that points to the fact that she has diabetes, but either she's lying about it or she's not been diagnosed with it yet. At the bare minimum, I could see her being at the bare minimum like pre-diabetic, like on the verge of it, like riding the line into diabetes, but not quite there yet. So yeah. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because she hollers at the very beginning of this.
Oh my gosh, I was craving Chinese takeaway, I was. So here it is. Never had from this place before. But yeah, bismillah. And am I going to eat this whole big meal for 85 people? Yes, I am. Every freaking last crumb. I'm not even going to leave a crumb big enough for a mouse. I want to get up and do...
I left that in despite how loud it was, because if you will look at her behavior there, she is almost manic there. That's what it read to me, as there was a little bit of a manic tone to it. I mean, obviously she's getting a high from the fact that she just ordered this food and that it's been delivered to her, and now here we are and she's fixing to dig into it. But there was a manic sort of behavior about that whole section there.
More things, but also on the couples channel we have a lot of videos we need to make. There's a lot more things to do in Kuwait.
There's a lot more. I want to get out more. There's a lot more things to do in Kuwait. She's had plenty of opportunity during her time frame there, a year now, to go and do and see and all this other stuff. But realistically, every bit of what she's talking about will involve her actually having to walk. And I just don't see that working out for her.
Museums. I love museums. Actually, when we're in a museum, there's so much walking, but I never feel it. Mostly just love what.
She never really feels it because in museums, there are quite a bit of benches and places to sit. We know that she can't walk far without having to sit down. Hi, Hanny. How you doing?
Like when my life is messy kind of content. Well, no, that's an insult to the ones who do love when we do things like that.
Hi, Blondie. I think I missed a section there.
My life is messy kind of content.
She says that what she was saying there, and it was very short, a very, very short section, where she said that she believes that most people want to see her deliver messy kind of content. That's not true. The fact is this sort of conversation will apply with her the same way it would apply with Hungry Fat Chick. If she would actually make an effort and make some positive changes, she would more than likely see a boost in her numbers. She would actually see positive result. She would see encouragement. She would see all the things that she is so desperate to attain. The problem is that she doesn't want to do it, and she's content with providing mediocre content and getting a mediocre response simply because she gets the attention that she wants. And even though she absolutely despises reaction channels, that's still attention. Someone is still talking about her. Someone is still mentioning her. And she can say that she despises it and that she thinks that we're all trash. Well, I'm not a reaction channel. I'm just me. But she can claim that reaction channels are all trash. But the fact is, she doesn't like reaction channels because we point out the things that she wants to ignore. Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Well, no, that's an insult to the ones who do love when we do things like that. So, I mean, for those just waiting around for a disaster, you'll have to keep inventing things because it's not going to happen.
Yet. I mean, realistically, and I think we know this, I mean, I speak specifically to Foodie, but it applies to both. They both of them actually have an expiration date on them. I mean, the fact is it doesn't matter how much money they bring into people or the things that they can offer. Eventually, people are going to get sick of their shit, you know? Thank you, Hanny. I'm going to tell you, dude, I am absolutely not digging this because it's a dress and I hate dresses. Add to it, I went and had a full face of makeup done and I haven't been able to touch my face all day. It is making me cuckoo. So trust and believe, as soon as this live goes off, I'm going to be stripping from the desk to the bedroom. And the first thing I'm going to do is wash my face because I just feel really out of sorts. I'm just really not a girly kind of chick. Just never have been. Backing up to Knucklehead here and Amber. That whole comment about people being sick of their shit. I mean, I know everybody out there has heard it doesn't matter how attractive a woman is, how much money she has, how intelligent she is. Guaranteed there is a man somewhere who got sick of screwing with them. It never fails. Foodie seems to think that she has this hold on whoever it is that she's with and that they will never leave her and that nothing will ever come to a head. The fact is that this scenario, nothing's ever going to happen yet. And she can't speak to that. She can't speak that into fruition because she doesn't know. She's another one that seems to think that she has total control over everything, but doesn't even have control over herself.
Remember when I was going to rent that house? That house was $3,000 or more. I think it was even more. And I just told everybody like $3,000. So there's things like that in my life that have happened, preventing my life from becoming a disaster.
You wouldn't call gaining 100 pounds in a year a disaster? Not being able to walk or breathe like a normal human being a disaster? I have to question her thought process that she thinks that right now her life is going well simply because she has a warm body there. Right. This isn't a disaster. All of this. I mean, I have asked the question, what is it going to take for Foodie to wake up? She is quite literally eating herself into an early grave. And I don't wish that on anybody, including Foodie. The fact is that nobody is without capability to change and grow and be better people. The difference is with Foodie is that she is 100% resistant to it. Can we take a moment? What is the deal with that?
Thinking of like how grateful I am to be where I am today. You ever do that? Just like have that existential moment where you're like, I can't believe I'm married, living in the Middle East.
No, nobody has that existential moment about being married and living in the Middle East because none of us aspire to that. Most of us just aspire to be happy on a day-to-day basis, to find a moment of joy and to be happy at some point during our day. You know, most of us don't desire to be in a place where we're surrounded by an exotic people, exotic food, simply so that we can claim to be exotic by osmosis. Oh yeah, it was stuck there for a little while. Yeah. Yeah.
But just thinking, like, oh my gosh, imagine, like, if the house did happen, how bad that would be for my life.
It wouldn't be much different than it is now. The only difference, I think, is the level of messy with the drug use and the snatch flashing and the sex kitten bravado that would have continued. And what would have happened is there would have been the same amount of super chats of people telling her, look, this is not okay. Look, we care about you. Please do something. Fix your life. Fix yourself. It had nothing to do with her moving to an entirely a separate half of the world and putting on a hijab. You know, the fact is that they wanted her to care enough about herself to do something about her life. And this was not even a sideways step. This was a step backward for her, I think.
And I wanted to have like a place that like made me look super like rich and posh. And if I'm being completely honest, I think in the back of my mind I had that.
There's no question that she had that, because we already know that Foodie loves to try to attempt to flex. And I said it. I mean, the difference is, I mean, her desire to flex now is still there. The difference is that the flex has no muscle mass. When during that time frame when she was in a downward spiral and she was making $20,000 in a month, she had the ability to flex that she made $20,000 a month. The difference is that she was ruining her life and she was basically blowing that money as fast as she could get it into her hands. Whereas now she's flexing. Where's your husband? Where's your condo in Kuwait? Nobody cares. Again, nobody aspires to live in Kuwait and be married to a robot who steals people's videos, you know? Yep. Hannibal co-signing that. Feel free to use that if you like. I mean, most normal, rational people would say, okay, I don't need a fancy house, but I want my home to be nice. I want my home to be comfortable. I want my home to be safe, and I want it to be paid for. I don't want to have to owe people money. I don't need a fancy car. I just need a car that I know is going to be reliable, that I can be happy with, and that I can pay for. Most normal people want security. They don't want flashy. They don't want instant gratification. They don't want the ability to try to rub it in other people's faces, you know. And deep down, most people, probably 90% of people, I would say at the minimum, they want somebody to love them and to love them wholeheartedly and honestly, without compensation for that other than being loved in return. Exactly. Paid for is key. And I will say this. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the video that I did. I did a walkthrough of my house here. My house is not a big house. My house is about 1,000 square feet, but it's more than enough for me. Okay. I came through. It was a labor of love. I repaired it. I painted it. I decorated it all myself, put all my furniture together on my own. And I am incredibly happy with my home. You know, I am incredibly happy to walk in that door every single day, knowing that this house is mine, it's paid for, and that I will be able to live here for the rest of my life and not have to worry about where I'm going to lay my head at night. I am very secure in where I'm at, you know, and that for me, that is a big thing. The difference is that, you know, I sacrificed a lot of things. I worked a lot to pay for that. You know, I made those sacrifices to get to where I am. And I didn't do this. I didn't choose this house. I didn't choose this place so that I could rub it in somebody's face. You know, I don't care what people think of my home. I mean, there have been a few people that have been like, your house is super cute. And I'm so glad that other people think that my house and that my efforts are really nice, you know, because I'm very happy with it. I think my house is really beautiful. To me, it is. But that's not entirely that's not why I did what I did, you know? Right. Being humble is a learned thing. Acknowledging that you put in your work, but that by making sacrifices to get to the places where you want to be, and that there it does come with a discomfort and a pain at times to be able to reach your goals is a part of it. And that nothing that you have without putting in the work and the effort is ever going to come to you easily. Right. Right. And that's another reason why too, that a lot of people kind of look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, like when I'm at work. And um, a lady that I worked with this weekend, she was the nursing supervisor on shift with us. She was like, "Oh, well, where all you been? We ain't seen you in a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, I've been a little bit of here and there." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you work all the time. You're just all over the place." And I said, "No, I just haven't been here." I said, "I only work 2 days a week." And she made this face at me like she just couldn't even imagine it. And it's because a lot of people that work in the medical field, we tend to run ourselves until we're at a state of burnout. We will work extra hours, extra days, work doubles. It's, a thing. It's just because of the caregiver that's kind of wired into us. Especially, I say that's not applicable to everybody, but especially to people who are older nurses. We are very wired into the caregiver side of us, which is something that is kind of changing over time that I've noticed. I've met a lot of younger nurses that are in it because they know that the pay is good. So they clock out and they're like, "Fuck no, I ain't working extra." Right. See, and I'm in the same boat. Both vehicles paid for, home paid for. I got my little bit of, I got me some money in my savings. I got my little oh shit fund, and I got my day-to-day working. It takes care of electric bill, groceries, gas, cell phone bill, all that stuff, you know. Exactly. 100%, Travis. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's part of why, like during the whole thing with the panty and the coof and all that, that's why I worked almost a year straight, because nobody wanted to take care of people who had the coof. And people were terrified because of everything that they were seeing on the news. And, I was just like, okay, these people need somebody to care, and I am willing to do it. Put me in there with them. I live by myself. If I get sick, I get sick. I'll deal with it. I know that I signed on for this. There will never be something that I'm not exposed to at some point in my career, so put me on the front line, and then after I got put into those positions, then they started paying out the extra money. We'll give you $500 to show up for your shift, and we're going to give you $20 more an hour to work in the COVID unit. And I was just like, score. I was already there anyway. So, yeah, give me the money. But I've had a change of perspective and everything, since my mom passed away, because she was geared like that too. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I will never not be a caregiver. That is just how I'm designed. But now my focus has shifted a little bit in relation to how I go about it. I would take care of everybody else and not take care of me. And now I am finding that fine line of making sure that I take care of me and I take care of others. Because if I can't take care of myself, then it would be pouring from an empty cup. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not walking around with my cup empty anymore. I refuse to do that. And nobody should do that. Self-care is necessary for everybody in order for you to be able to give away the energy and the care to others. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people think about.
And I've learned since then that, like, it's so phony, It's so phony because I'm not like that. I'm not, like, super rich, and I'm not, a show off.
That's a lie.
Because I've also learned, honestly, that wealth And being rich is sometimes a lot more than actual monetary gains or possessions. Because there was a time in my life where in my YouTube career, where I bragged about this, which I wish I'd never done, but there's a lot of things I wish I didn't do. I was making like maybe 20 grand or so a month. But the catch was my life was full of toxic drama.
Is her life not full of toxic drama right now?
I make less than that, obviously.
You don't say.
But I have a partner in life helping me, not taking advantage of me.
Sure, Jan.
Financially.
We still ain't seen nothing that shows that Sala actually contributes anything.
And is contributing, even more than me.
I'm sorry. He does contribute more than her. He probably actually produces more food into that household than she does because she doesn't cook. Not really. If you want to think about it, he's the one bringing all the food into the door.
And I'm experiencing life
Hi.
a lot more than I was before.
Come sit with me.
When I was making all that money. So for me, I'm happier this way.
Now, she's saying this right before she wrote that 5-page War and Peace novel on how happy she is and how everybody in the reaction sphere is beneath her and how we're all judging her and that we're all liars and idiots. Okay. So I find that comment amusing. Tell us that you're not happy without telling us that you're not happy, that you go off at even the slightest comment.
So maybe salary-wise or income-wise, me personally, I'm not as rich as before, but my life is a lot more rich, if that makes sense. Why?
I would love to know in what way. Because, God's honest truth, she doesn't really, despite her taking the Shahada, she doesn't really seem to be practicing enough to really see any results of an actual connection to her higher power. And most people who have some sort of sustained spiritual basis or foundation are generally more relaxed and calm and happy people. Most people who have that sort of spiritual development have more composure and control over their emotional state. They certainly, if they're addicts like Foodie and ALR are, it actually gives them more of a grasp on their addictive properties. That's part of why a lot of successful 12-step programs are rooted in spirituality of some sort. Again, going back to that, there is a God out there and it ain't me. But here we are. We have watched Foodie rage. We have watched Foodie gain 100 pounds. We have watched her have meltdowns and just basically sleep, eat, and breathe. How could one possibly be happy that way? There is so much more to life than that. And I say, I speak to that in relation to her saying that being happy is less to do about your things than it is about experiences. And on that, I can't agree with her because realistically, and that's why I said my house is not much. My vehicles are not fancy, but they're paid for. And I would really rather spend my money. I would rather spend more to go to a concert. I would rather spend $500 on a seat at a concert so that I can be right there up close and personal, getting the full immersive experience of someone that I want to see perform, then I would rather spend on a coat or a handbag or whatever. It is for me absolutely not about the things. It is about the experiences. I want to be able to be that psychotic old woman in the nursing home who everybody goes, oh, she's so pretty. She is so sweet. And then have me knock their block off when I sundown, but have a wall full of pictures of all of the things that I've done and all the people that I've met and everybody that I love. That at the end will mean more to me than having a condo on the beach with an unfettered view of the sunrise, you know? And maybe that's just because I am in a different place than Foodie. I have always been at a level of emotional maturity that Foodie and ALR will probably never understand. And that's because I have worked for everything that I have had since I was 16 years old. I've never had a thing in the world handed to me. And it is the sort of scenario where, you know, life is tough for those who are not willing to do the work to get to where they want to be or to be who they want to be. And that's something that the two of them will never understand. And with Foodie, it's a passing thought and not a way of life. Exactly. And that's why, like, even here, like you see, I've got like my little crazy Foodie hat because, you know, that was a whole thing and we had fun with that. I've got, you know, my blown glass bowl from being at the glass shop. I've got my whole pictures from meeting all the animals at the conservatory here. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I still want to volunteer there so badly. I don't know what the holdup is. I may have to email them tomorrow. But it is my aim to go out and see things and do things and experience things, not to have things. And, you know, that is really my aim. That to me means more than having pretty much anything. The only things that I cannot do without are these two. This one who's snoring, which I don't know if you can hear him, and little mama who always likes to put her booty in front of the camera. Those are the only two things in life that I could not do without. The rest of it, I could take it or leave it.
Is it TikTok worthy to make a whole video complaining to a bunch of people who can't do anything about it? Like, just call customer service. Why do you have to make a TikTok complaining that your sandwich had had cucumbers and tomatoes when you didn't ask for them? And it gets a lot of traction for some reason.
I left that clip in there because of the tone. And it gets a lot of traction for some reason. I mean, the eye roll sideways. Tell us you're angry and jealous without telling us you're angry and jealous. She wants so badly to be viral. What she doesn't understand is she may go viral for absolutely the wrong reasons, and that will cause her channel to implode. If she thinks that Girl World coming after her and reporting her videos, or, you know, just poking and prodding her is bad, wait until she gets a lot of these Gen Z folks after her. They make it a mission. They will ride her like Zorro until everything collapses for her. That is just the way that generation does things now. And the problem with Foodie is she will double and triple and quadruple down until it is all burned to the ground. She needs to be careful what she wishes for, because if she gets it, it may not go the way she hopes.
Sometimes the things you see on social media stress you out.
Does things on social media stress you guys out? I asked that question because I know every single person probably in this chat are fully functioning grown adult people who have jobs, who have families, who have hobbies, who have pets, who have all of those things that they focus on, that probably peruse social media as a method to have something to occupy their mind for a few minutes while they're using the bathroom or waiting for a meeting to start or a shift to start or whatever. When you have things to devote your time and attention and your focus to, I don't really think that being stressed out by social media is an actual thing. That's another reason too that I say Gen Z is very dangerous for her, because Gen Z is just like her. They don't have real things to focus their time and attention toward, and all they do is watch social media. She don't need to be worried about the Gen Xers or the boomers or even some of the millennials, because we're talking about a group of people who have other things to contend with and devote their time to. That small portion of those millennials and those Gen Zers that don't really have anything, who devote their entire lives to their online persona and interaction, those for her are dangerous people.
I'm sure there's people that think that way about watching me.
No shit. She's just figuring that out.
Turn it off, guys. If it stresses you out and doesn't make you happy in life, turn it off.
I'm going to be saving this clip, and I'm going to save it on my YouTube. And every time she posts a rage post, because lately it ain't been on video, it's been all through her content, her community tab page, that is going to be bookmarked into as a response. I wish she would start actually practicing what she preaches, but she doesn't, because she even says it.
Do as I say, not as I do.
So this gives right here a true reading on who Foodie is, because she wants you to do and be and sign off on whatever she says, whatever she does. When she rages, she wants you to pat her on the ass and tell her she did a good job. But if it stresses you out, then turn it off, y'all.
All right, let's try these donuts.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we are. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get loud, y'all. This right here and right here. See this right here? This is donut powder. And all of this is donut powder. But we're fixing to try these donuts, y'all.
All right, so first up, we have a cute, angry whole face. Is it a vampire? It's like a monster donut.
I just kept a little section of that in. I tried so hard to limit as much of the eating as humanly possible. Whew. All the mouth noises, man. Ugh. So I turned the volume down on this because I wasn't real concerned about her talking and running her gator and all this. You can't tell me that shaming doesn't work when people in girl world have made fun of her enough to the point where she went and bought a pot and a casserole dish. You can't tell me that shaming doesn't work. The difference is that whether or not she follows through on it and she takes heed of it is the difference. This right here, this was something that helped her make content, and it helped her to look like a put together person. It makes her look more like an adult. But when it comes to shaming in relation to you've got to fix all of this right here, all of that right there, because we've seen the photo of this right here, this shirt not even 3 months ago. It was loose. This right here, this is not a good sign, not by any stretch of the imagination. The crazy thing is, too, that casserole dish is actually kind of cute. Now, I put this in here because can we take a moment to look at her hands? When I have talked about over and over again how swollen her hands are and how that correlates with her breathing issues and the fact that she has an enlarged heart, I can almost guarantee you that she has some congestive heart failure in play. I mean, look at how swollen her hands are and how shiny they are. Look at how shiny her fingers are and the back of her hands. That one right there, she is playing on borrowed time. And the fact that realistically, if you'll look at that, that is her hands as all the way closed as they're going to get. There is no way in hell that if she and I both took a stress ball and closed our hands on it, that she would be able to close her hand down as far on it as I could. And it's because of the swelling. I mean, don't get me wrong. She does have fat in the hands, but there's a lot of swelling there too. And I put this in here because has anybody but me noticed that there is a lot of gray food or tan food with her? Her food doesn't really ever seem to have any color to it. Even though like she chopped up a red onion, there is no sign of that red onion anywhere in that meal. Isn't that crazy? I agreed. That's it. That's all it's good for, just to have something to occupy your brain for a couple minutes. Right. Right. Side note, I love the fact that she claims that she forgot to cook her carrots and that we're going to have another vegetable, and she chose a cucumber. Cucumber really doesn't offer any nutrient value to it. It's mostly water. Cucumbers are really only good to add to salads and to have as a snack. I will actually take those little pickling cucumbers and I'll peel them and I'll slice them up and I'll put them in a container. And what I'll do is I'll take like a teaspoon of ranch powder and put it over them and shake it up real good. And that's a quick little something that you can have. And it's got that crunch to it so that you don't it keeps you away from like salty foods like chips and stuff like that. If you're looking for a healthier alternative that gives you the crunch and that little bit of flavor and salt, do that with a cucumber. You will not regret it. But that is not a viable substitute for a vegetable. Not really.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I got to take a quick moment here to give a shout out to Jordy, who is currently running 2 channels. The dude is a beast. I don't even know how he manages. Okay. But I stole this from him and went through and cobbled together the TikTok live that he recorded so that we could just take a moment to peruse it and kind of make fun of her, to be truthful.
The heart. Does this look like a heart? Thank you. I think I'll just
Woo, she got them filters playing hard tonight on this live, y'all.
too many. He's loving, supportive, super handsome.
Super handsome, really.
Just an amazing guy. I love how he loves me. Like, he's so sweet and loving, and yeah.
First off, not that he follows the zodiac side of things, but Sala being born as a Libra, I can speak to this as a Libra. Number one, Libras are we are very driven with the heart side of things. We are very into the romance side of things. That is just how we're designed. We appreciate all things beautiful, whether it be art or film or music. We reach out to those things that speak to us on that level. You know, that is part of just how we're made. Now, I am not trying to say that Sala is a romantic person, because there is absolutely nothing that says that he is. Everything that we have seen of him shows that he doesn't really seem to like her, much less love her. But I did have a little bit of insight to throw on that because I've had like the reports or whatever sent to me about Libras that are born like and all the characteristic traits and everything. And I find that sort of stuff interesting. I don't give it a lot of weight, but reading through it and going, yeah, that sounds like me. Yep, that sounds like me. That don't sound like me at all. That sort of stuff is entertainment for me. Yes, it absolutely does look very tan. The other thing too is her nose is a lot smaller, which we already know she doesn't have. And then she's got this drastically almost pointy chin that she doesn't actually have.
I'm strong.
Strong where?
And funny. He's really funny.
Exit out.
Amber, what are you doing on here? His laugh is hilarious. Lucy! I'm making it rain. Thank you for the cat. Remember when I did that on Sam? Howdy, burger.
I think it's funny that she's over here doing all this NPC stuff when not long ago she said that it was tacky and it was stupid. And I'll tell you what else is amusing about all this, that she's doing all of that and she's on here basically money grubbing when she will give this up when she finds out exactly how little money she makes. For certain items, you are literally getting a penny. And I do believe TikTok takes half. So she's going to be big mad when she finds out that, especially if she starts doing daily TikTok lives like she says she wants to, when that little dollar and some change paycheck rolls through, she's going to be angry. Big angry. She realistically, if she would go back to being live on TikTok, on YouTube every day, did y'all hear that? These two are riled up. She would get more money out of being live on YouTube than she would on TikTok. Hey, be nice.
Oh, Lizzie.
Play nice now.
Wait, cheeseburger? I don't know. Everyone just abandoned me.
Everyone just abandoned me. She will basically be working for free, Janet. I mean, realistically, if you figure it up by the time TikTok takes their half out of it, she's going to be getting pennies on the dollar. She is going to be angry. Realistically, I think right now she's doing it, number one, hoping to catch some traction. She's hoping to get people to gravitate to her to YouTube. Otherwise, she wouldn't have tagged her TikTok the way that she did. She's using it as a method of advertising. The difference is that once these people catch wind of who she is on TikTok, they will come for her because it's happened some already. I mean, there are plenty of people on YouTube that actually call Foodie out. And there have been, the last time she actually did a TikTok live, there were people in her chat eating her ass alive. And that's part of why she didn't do it for a really long time. So yeah, I don't see this being a lasting thing for her. It's going to be just long enough that she gets angry because there is really no ability for her to control who's coming in and who's coming out. And then there will be no monetary compensation for dealing with the headache.
Amber, did you? I should do an ass unblocking. Yeah, right. Every time I do that, I get mad and block everybody. Is there a beaver? I don't know. He blocked literally everyone. I don't know. It's hard. Like, you're trying to be more positive and everything. My husband's favorite color? I say red and black. That's his favorite color scheme. Red and black. Lucy!
She said red and black because apparently a lot of his clothes are red and black or have red or black on them somewhere. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my favorite color is purple. Do I have purple clothes in my closet? No. I maybe have one shirt that's purple. I maybe have, I might have two. I might have a t-shirt that's purple and then a shirt in my closet that's purple, but that's it. I don't buy clothing that has purple on it. I mean, this is actually right here. This whole thing, this is the first thing that I've bought that actually has purple on it that I've worn in a long time. I mean, like I may do my nail polishes in purple sometimes, but that's about it. I mean, I'm not going to go overboard, but your favorite color does not necessarily dictate what clothes you buy. So, I mean, I don't think they know each other very well at all. which is interesting given the fact that they've spent a year in proximity.
Hey, thanks for listening. Hey, Shay. This is fun. I know, unicorn pondu. I said how pathetic it is. I feel pathetic for doing it, okay? But it is kind of fun. I can see why people do it now. Hi, it's me. Thanks for the ice cubes. So bad at this. It's fun being silly, though. I didn't think of the possibilities of how funny it could be. Millennial energy? Am I millennial? 1984.
She actually is a millennial, which is really kind of surprising because most millennials that I meet are actually really intuitive sort of people, and they're really open-minded, and she's not.
It's hard. I find like TikTok is like funny because you can like, there's like the gifts, there's like you can listen to music, you can try different weird filters. There's always new people joining, like there's always different people. Oh, thanks for the cat. Oh, cool dude. Oh my god, I feel like a boomer. I'm not a millennial, I'm a boomer. When you have a chubby face, it makes it hard to wear a hijab.
I think we're past chubby at this point.
Big said GG. Good game. Is that what that means? That was Beezer spray. Yeah, well, Jesus didn't keep me healthy either, Chris. So it's called personal responsibility.
So now it's Jesus's fault that she's fat? Is Jesus fat phobic now? Last time I checked, it's in the Bible where we have free will as human beings. But, let's talk about personal responsibility, but not practice any of it.
One thing I dislike about my apartment, there's no closets. Our closets are external, like it doesn't come with closets. That's the only thing I don't really like. Everything else I love.
See, that I can kind of sort of relate to. When I moved here, I stepped down from a house that was like, I lost about 200 square feet, and a lot of that was storage, like the closets. I don't have like a hall closet anymore. I don't like have closets like storage closets in my bathrooms anymore, which I'm used to. But I had to get really creative with storage space and furniture and everything like that to make up for the difference. It's all about how you use the space and not what it has or what it doesn't have. I mean, you can make do with pretty much anything that you've given, provided that you do it in a creative way.
So we have like some boxes of things. We don't have anywhere to put them, but I don't know how many square feet it is, but the rental crisis is bad in Canada right now, right? Like we have basically like a beachside, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2 full bathroom.
No, it's not it's okay. Hang on.
Apartment. And yeah, it's like under $1,000 a month.
Okay, under $1,000 a month. I'm pretty sure she's probably talking about KD and not Canadian. But let's address that whole beachside thing, because she loves to try to say that. This is one of those flexes that she likes to try to use with people when she likes to go after people's housing. Number one, that her place is not beachside. It has a beach view. When you live with a parking lot and a road in between you and the beach, you are not beachside. There is a difference. I could show you places that are beachside where you literally walk out your back door and you step into sand. There is a difference. She just see the unintentional humble flex on her part.
It's very, very, very affordable. It's amazing. There's expats everywhere, Unicorn. I don't know if it's like specifically for that, but I don't think they have like designated. Well, no, you're right. They do. They have certain areas where just Kuwaitis live. It depends. Oh no, my phone's gonna die. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta get my charger battery.
Isn't it funny that all these times that she's been live, she likes to utilize that as an excuse? I gotta go, guys. My phone's almost dead. But now she was in an all-fire hurry to go get that charger. Like I said, I think that she's thinking that she's going to either bring in a lot of people this way, or she's going to make some sort of serious money off of this. And it's going to be funny to watch her back out of it and then downplay it, saying she wasn't having any fun or she had an issue with it or whatever. Thank you, Janet. That's really sweet.
Oh, my phone is grabbing toast. Why don't I use filters? They're fine. Oh yes. Is that fan bothering you guys? Did you see the painting? No, I haven't seen it. This is fun. A cat hair everywhere. Okay. I know I need to take the time to be more like presentable when I go live, but whatever. Who cares? I don't like being high maintenance.
Making sure that you don't have cat hair everywhere for her. She considers that high maintenance. I don't know about you guys, but being a cat owner, you kind of figure out really early on that if you don't want to have cat hair everywhere, that you have a lint roller and you use it before you walk out the door. It's one thing if you're at home. Like, take this. This is black. Neither of the cats have wanted to sit on me because of the hat. The hat, I guess, freaks them out. But any other time, if I'm wearing black and I'm at home, and if I know that I'm going to come on here and talk to you guys, that lint roller goes over my shirt to kind of get the excess, it obviously doesn't get everything, but I still make myself relatively presentable, even though God's honest truth, you guys have seen it. Most times I'll come on here in my pajamas. It don't faze me not one iota, because I know y'all don't care really what I look like. Y'all are more interested in what we're talking about versus what I look like. But I don't really consider running a lint roller over yourself as high maintenance, but that's just me.
I like being low maintenance. Yeah, Jordan, like here and there we talk.
I found that whole statement funny. I like to be low maintenance. She's actually beyond that. She's actually really more in the no maintenance end because she doesn't really do too much of anything.
Kimmy, am I scared of a medical episode? No. Not until I don't think about it until I get like a chest pain and I'm like, oh no, is it now? Am I fine? Oh, I am.
And that is generally how Foodie functions. Foodie will continue to ignore all of her problems until it actually is that point where it's something serious. When she ends up in the hospital or her heart stops and they end up having to shock her and do whatever the hell else to bring her back from the dead, then she'll want to take it seriously. But so long as the pain, that chest pain, is transient, it comes and then it goes, she's going to keep on doing what she's doing.
Do you miss the outhouse? No. I mean, it was a pretty nice outhouse. But the public washrooms in Kuwait are amazingly clean and pristine.
I do not understand the fascination with her in bathrooms. Have you noticed when we've watched her vlogs out in public that there's not so much footage of like the architecture or the decoration, but guaranteed we get a full view of just about every single bathroom she goes into? I don't get it.
The ones I've seen, like in the parks. Why did you have an outhouse? There was I used to go for a drive, long drives on this road. And there was like a nice outhouse in between.
I love how she downplayed that.
We need the original Foodie Beauty. I'm still me, just minus all the drugs and crappy life.
She's down the drugs only, really, I think.
I'm getting my life together.
Hasn't she been getting her life together now for about 3 years? When does that actually take effect? I'm curious to know.
And I know people don't like that, People like people to be messy. Like, this is an example, but I've been noticing, I've been seeing, Hungry Fat Chick, for example. I remember her, making a video talking about, how, she felt like nobody was watching her videos and she was doing well, And I feel like I've lost a lot of my audience from when I moved here because it's not the same messy content, And I would rather a healthier, peaceful life, happy life with somebody than those kind of views.
First off, she needs to stop comparing herself to other people because her issues and why her views have dropped off have nothing to do with why Candy's dropped off. And I said this and I'll say it again and I will say it as many times as I need to. Candy expected almost an immediate shift in her view content when she shifted her actual content type, and that doesn't work that way. I mean, her audience was based out of feeder content and people who wanted to watch her eat excessive amounts of food. So when you go from that to being on a health journey and actually losing weight and doing the right thing by your body, you're gonna have a down period. And I actually said it to Gigi when we talked about it. I mean, the fact is people love an underdog, and she just had to let it gain some traction. The other thing she wasn't doing too is she wasn't uploading as frequently. And there are so many things that she could have done to kind of fill in those gaps and to produce that content to, bear the weight of the difference in views. But unfortunately, she wasn't doing that. And I really wish that she would kind of have that realization so that she could continue to make the changes for the better, to improve her health and improve her life. Now, Foodie's issue is that she went from wide open all day long, constant interaction on YouTube to all of a sudden, I'm not telling you except I'm only going to tell you 10%, and everything that I put out is non-tent. And people are sick of it. People are really sick of the game with her. Nobody really has the interest to watch her eat anymore because most of her mukbangs in the beginning were her talking and telling stories and actually having things to say versus her mumbling through, shoving, forkfuls or spoonfuls of food into her mouth, right. Well, Candy says she's not backsliding because in her mind, she's only doing this once a week and that she is continuing on with trying to do the right thing for the rest of the time. Now, if she goes off the rails and she completely reverts back, then she is going to be in some trouble. And I really, really hope that, she comes to the realization that she can do this without the mukbangs. Because Candy, even though Candy has her issues, Candy's a very nice lady. I mean, she's got a lot of baggage, and that's a lot of what's held her back. And I feel for her.
You're planning to visit family for Christmas. No. I don't want to go to Canada for the winter. It's too much snow, too cold. I think last winter I went to Canada, right? Oh my God.
It's too cold, but this is the lady that was walking around in the cold with, no jacket on because she's hot all the time. Isn't that interesting?
I landed in the middle of a snowstorm. I was worried. I watched her on her diet. I stopped watching her return of crazy mukbangs. But what I don't get is
hi, Rally.
People did that to me.
How you doing?
Hi, Amber. I started as mukbangs, and then I went. I opened up my personal life because I had struggles with my weight and stuff, and then I posted that. And then when you go back to mukbangs, you lose people. They get mad at you. I am home now. You guys have to realize that this is my home. We can still hang out in bees here. We can go out in bees anywhere. I just can't, do really self-destructive things.
But the difference is that she's not doing anything. She's not doing anything. That's what's biting her in the rear end and why her views are in the tank, why they're circling the drain. Because, she's not doing anything,
If he said we don't really talk that much, honestly. Maybe a hey here and there, but I think I told him to just keep all of our communication very private. So it's not like he's lying, it's just
No, she's lying. I'm more inclined to believe Pete's in this circumstance than I am her, because we already know a lot of times Pete's is actually more honest because he's not really keeping track of what food he's doing anymore, not like he used to. And he made the comment, no, they don't talk anymore. And here she is saying, yeah, well, we speak a little bit here and there, but I told him not to talk about what we talk about. We know that when Foodie goes in on detail like that she's usually being dishonest. Hey, Jim. Thank you. I'm not crazy about it because it's a dress and I'm uncomfortable, but I'm dealing. Between that and the makeup, I'm just really more overdone than I'm accustomed to, but I'm glad it looks good.
I do miss my family a lot, but I'm not going to, would me ever board the Qatar? No. Using isn't the same in the Middle East. Well, it can be. We can't, we have to be modest geezers. That's all, which is contradictory, but Lola, I don't share my residency status and everything like that.
I think we already know why, she doesn't want to talk about stuff because she already knows that if she even shares half of what's going on with her in relation to residency status, that it'll backfire on her. Yeah. Thank you, Rally. I love Halloween and I have not dressed up in probably a decade, mostly because I've been working on Halloween. And, prior to this year, I lived out in the middle of nowhere. So it isn't like I really had the ability to decorate and have people see it, or to dress up and have anybody to see it, because I don't go to bars and stuff like that, So, and, like earlier, I had the opportunity to go to like a trunk or treat, but, the invitation was literally like right before we were due to kick this off. And I was just like, well, I'm like, when I tell people that I'm going to do something, I do it, and I didn't want to be like, hey guys, something came up, sorry, cancel the live, sort of thing. I don't really believe in doing stuff like that unless I just can't avoid it. I love the Eagles. That is the Eagles, isn't it? I'm having a brain fart. Because I can hear his voice. Tell me if I'm right, Jim. Hey, Vanessa, good to see ya. You working tonight? So I was right. I hope I was right. I can kind of hear Tom Henley's voice singing that song. That's why I was asking if that was right, because I can hear his voice, but I can't 100% say that it was the Eagles. I've been good. Girl, I've uploaded. If you ain't been keeping up with the daily vlogs, girl, it's been a hot mess over the last weekend, but it ain't been bad. I've decided, I've made the executive decision that I'm going back to school. I got to do all my paperwork to apply for the spring semester, but I've decided that I'm going to go to school for, the nursing home administrator track, which means I'm looking at a minimum of 2 years for that degree. But the way that my scheduling is, I don't have anything going on during the week, not really, unless I opt in on something, so I can devote 2 days a week to class, and at the end of it, it's going to be better for me physically, because I could do a job behind a desk until I'm 90 if I want to, Hey, Relly, I tell people you're not old until you can't take care of yourself no more. When you can't wipe your own hiney, then you're old. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to tell people. I make the comments that I'm old, but I'm only old numerically. I'm not old physically or mentally. I refuse to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Oh, that's too bad. You would have had a blast. What happened? Yay, I'm so glad my brain ain't fried, y'all. Sometimes I can remember that stuff like that, like a steel trap, you know what I'm saying? And then there are moments where I'm like, is that who that is? It's one of those things. Well, I don't know if I would congratulate me just yet. I mean, I'm taking on a battle is what I'm doing. That's going to be 2 years of fighting uphill. My biggest issue, I can tell you where my biggest issue is. My biggest issue is math. I absolutely suck at algebra. I have taken algebra twice and I failed it. My problem is that I can't keep up in a classroom setting. I had to take like an intermediate, like an intro to algebra sort of deal to work my way up. And the intro to algebra was self-paced. It was done, you went into a classroom, you were on a computer and you did the work at your own speed. And that for me was great. I passed that class, tests and all, flying colors. I made like a 90 and I did great. I was just like, okay, this is what I need, because my problem is that if I get hung up on something, with a self-paced, I can kind of dedicate like some extra time to it to get through it. And then the stuff that I pick up really fast, I can blow past. But in classroom, you're at the mercy of the teacher. And when they cover something and then they move on to the next thing, there is really no way for you to devote that extra time. And there was the 2 times that I took algebra, I went home and literally did every practice question in the books and still bombed. I was like, Girl, I see. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I wouldn't. I'll be honest. God's honest truth. I don't envy people that live in other states because there are a lot of them that require it. I will say this about Florida and Governor DeSantis. He has been very, very pro-choice on the coof pokey stick, and he instituted paperwork showing immunization via exposure. And if you go and you get, like, if you've had COVID, and you have a natural, immunity via exemption via natural immunity is what the paperwork says. But if you go and you get your immunity levels drawn to see if you have the antibodies there, if you have them, then you're considered exempt. You're considered, technically covered. So all you got to do is have that paperwork, and you turn that paperwork in, and anywhere that requires you to have the pokey stick, they have to accept it and they have to let you work. So I got to give DeSantis that. I mean, he's done some stuff that I don't agree with, but that one I wholeheartedly agree with, because a big part of our jobs, Vanessa, is advocating for people to be able to make their own health decisions, but they've kind of taken them away from us, if that makes sense. And I really that just really put me off, See, I'm glad you love math. I am awful at it. I'll tell you what my thing is. My thing is Englishes and social sciences. Those, no problem. All the way in on it. I love that stuff. I love to read. I love to write. All that stuff, cool for me. But math has never been my thing. Girl, I'm going to have to figure something out. Realistically, I will tell you the God's honest truth. I know what I'll probably do. I know what I'll probably do. I will probably wait, and those will be later on down the line. I'm going to hit most of my core curriculum stuff early and accumulate as many credits as I can, and then kind of, work them in later on. I will probably end up having to hire a tutor to help me, sit down and help me, because I'm that awful at it. It is really wild. Right. Well, I got to say this. I mean, I found out from a girl that lives overseas that the National Health Institute over there, in Italy, because that's where she's living at, they gave them a list of stuff to take to help protect them. Vitamin D 1,000 twice a day, zinc 500 twice a day, vitamin C 500 twice a day, keratin twice a day, and then melatonin at bedtime, Pepsid once a day. And I started taking that because we had that conversation, and I started taking it, and I took it all the way through COVID. And then not long after my mom died, I kind of went off, the self-care derailed, and I went off of it, and I ended up getting sick after I went off of it. And then I went right back on, and I've been on it ever since, and I haven't had it again. And there have been people at one of the nursing homes that I've been working at that actually has COVID, and people that work on staff have gotten COVID. So I've been exposed secondhand, but still haven't gotten sick from it. I had it the one time and no other problems. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. I'm sure they do, and I hope to God that it works for me, because I actually haven't sat down to look at the actual course requirements to see what classes I'm going to need, but I know algebra is going to be one of them, because, I skated by on not having to take that. I skated or I found a way to skate around it, but I know with the bachelor's, you're going to have it. So I'm going to have to figure something out between now and then. Oh, trust me, I know there's no shame in it. I know there's not. But I mean, I just know that I'm going to have to figure something out, or I'm going to be in a world of hurt. Let's see. No, I haven't tried the oregano, but you ain't gonna be able to take my test for me though. I mean, I can send you my homework. I'll let you do my homework, but I still got to pass the test though. Side note, on that whole conversation about the degree thing, I haven't told my dad that I'm doing this, and I'm probably not going to until I get closer to the end of it or until I actually get to the point of graduation, because I love my dad, but he has a tendency to apply pressure that I don't want or don't need. That would be all we would ever talk about anytime I saw him, or if he called me, that would be the conversation is, how are your grades? How are you doing? How many classes are you taking? What are you taking? That would be all he would want to talk about. He is very goal driven. And, I mean, I am not going to kill myself to get through to the end of this process. I mean, the degree is a 2-year degree, but if it takes me a little longer, I don't care, you know? So yeah, I figured I would just keep that to myself until I am ready to share that with him. So you guys will probably hear about it because I'll be on here going, I'm so stressed, blah. But you know, until then, you know, yeah, I'm not really gonna get into that with him because I don't want the extra pressure, if you know what I mean. I mean, realistically, I'm hoping that a lot of the conversations that I have, even with you guys, would be like, oh, take a guess at what I found out about. Isn't this really interesting, sort of stuff? Because I'm hoping that I'll be able to get into some stuff that I really haven't, you know, been into before. Oregano oil has worked for me better than antibiotics. Oh, girl. Okay, he is content with the step monster. He actually sent me pictures earlier. They went into town to do they were doing the trunk or treat thing in downtown, like the historical district of the town that I'm from. There's my dad dressed up as Frankenstein. Let me tilt that. They took their golf cart up there and they decorated their golf cart, which that would have been fine. And then he sent me the picture of the step monster dressed up as the bride of Frankenstein. Not that I really wanted to see her, but you know, it's whatever. I prefer to keep my conversations kind of light with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to get into anything serious with him because I don't want him to feel like I am seeking his input on it, because I'm not. You know, I don't really ask for his input on a lot of things. Right. On her, yes. Him, not so much, you know. I'm just going to start doing spelling tests with my stuff. Spelling is important. Yes, it is. Another thing that you could do too would be like charting stuff too, because we know that charting will hang your ass out to dry if you're not careful. Did you know, Vanessa, that there are still a lot of people who will continue to monitor at the end of their nurse's notes? That will screw you up if something goes to court. All right, let's continue. We will continue talking, but let's finish out this psychopath here.
Visa runs. Sorry, I can't deny or confirm these things.
I can't deny or confirm these things. She's basically telling us without telling us that she does not have residency status, even though she likes to declare that she does. I mean, I don't even know why she bothers.
Well, sorry, Julius. I can't be who you wish I could be, but you know, this is my life now.
No comment.
Therapy. Soon.
Does anybody out there believe that she's actually going to start therapy? Because I think that's just one more thing that she says that she's going to do that doesn't actually happen.
Once you're a Canadian citizen, you're a citizen for life, though. Like if you're born there, like me. And my passport is good for another like 7 or 8 years. So I still don't know yet, yo, if I'm gonna be doing that. But yeah, I want to travel around the Middle East a bit. You know, I want to go to like KSA. I want to go to Qatar. I've never like the only time I've ever gone to Qatar is like to like transfer. I want in the airport. I want to like explore it more.
The part that gets me is she's talking about she wants to go to Qatar. Does she not understand some of the things that are going on in Qatar right now? Number one, she being of European descent would put a big old red flag on her. Okay. If she thinks that, I mean, she said it before, I'm Muslim, you know, first off, that does not make one exempt from being the target of somebody who wants to do you harm. It's even in Islamic countries. I can't wait to see how that goes if she does ever go to Qatar.
I'm not drinking Pepsi. Is weight loss something you want? Go to Dubai? Yeah, that too. I did not cook today. You're highly employable. Maybe not highly, but I always have ways.
Somebody said you're highly unemployable, and she said not highly. She says I have my ways, meaning she'll lie, but we know that.
Lipton is I know we had like a bunch of Lipton in the fridge. I'm not perfect with like boycotting, but the major ones like Starbucks, McDonald's, I do what I can. Obviously, I can't boycott YouTube. You know, like.
Sure, you can.
I had shish kebab for supper.
She just won't.
Moonlight, hello.
Oh,
Did we buy Pepsi? I don't remember. We bought iced tea and stuff before. That was before we started boycotting. And there's always brands coming out that you don't know about, like until you know. So, are you boycotting anything? A long time ago.
I love that. Are you boycotting anything? She loves to do that. Deflect. What are you doing? Where's your husband? Where's your $3,000 house? Where's your whatever? Where's your Dior lipstick? Okay. I just can't.
Just support no matter what. Yeah, that's exactly why, you know, I'm grateful for the people who just are here to support me no matter what. You do karaoke. Yeah, I want to do karaoke on here. Having a hard time boycotting Taco Bell. Yeah, I didn't realize Taco Bell was part of that either, so it's hard to boycott things in the Western world. You're right. Yeah. You're right. What's the big deal? She's gonna be fixed. She's good for like 6 months. She had a shot. It's like a natural biological function to go in heat. I don't know why that's a big deal.
Because you allowed her to do so, not really giving a crap about the fact that being in heat is not just a normal biological function. It is actually extremely uncomfortable for the animal. Number one. Number two, having them fixed earlier is actually better for their health in the long run. Jesus Christ.
To be fair, every brand is Israel. Mostly if it's like from the US, I guess. She was taken care of, Quinton, sis. What does it matter? She's fine. You can see. Go look at my newest TikTok. But I'm doing it. My people are worth it. If they're hurting, it's painful for them to go into heat. Really? The vet said it wasn't painful. But they gave her a progesterone injection because she needs her shots before they'll fix her. We brought.
Secondarily, that progesterone injection, it is used. I will give that, but it is not meant to be. I'm going to give this to them so that you can go another 6, 7, 8, 10 months without doing what you need to do.
Her to the vet the day she went in heat. I was like, oh shit. I brought her to the vet. Like, oh crap, you know. I was just infested at the house. No, move on. We had them boarded. We brought them somewhere. Well, Wildflower, you're listening to channels that are making up things. That's not my fault.
Have I made up anything out of the conversations that we've had? I mean, I don't recall making up anything. I have speculated, but you know, that's based off of observable things that she shows us. Now, I could see if I said Foodie's a circus juggler and she moonlights as a trans man on the weekends, that would be making up lies. But, you know, I mean, pointing out that between the coughing and the barrel belly and the hand swollen, that she's more than likely got congestive heart failure is me pointing out stuff that I'm seeing based on observable symptoms. I mean, that's, yeah, pretty rational.
There's no lies here. You're tired of my lies, but you'll watch somebody who's blatantly lied to you about who has the cats and so many other things that I'm not even going to get into. anymore. You want to think I'm a liar? You don't
I love that. I'm not going to get into that anymore, but then she keeps going.
want to support me? I don't care. She'll definitely get fixed before she ever goes into heat. Yeah.
Code for I'm going to wait 6, 7, 8 months until right before the shot stops working before I actually do something, because now it's not an inconvenience for me.
She was boarded with family. So, and we don't really want to say exactly where she was. Like,
which means that she didn't go to a boarding facility and she didn't stay with family, because if you didn't really want to say then obviously you didn't do what you were claiming that you did. Okay. The fact is if she were not being shady, then she would just say outright what she did with the cat and the hamster while she was gone. I mean, we know how Foodie is. When things are not a big deal, Foodie does not get riled up. She just kind of, I did this, and then keeps on going. She only devotes attention to things when she's trying to be deceptive. But the bad thing for her is that people can read her when she lies.
I want to keep that private. You know what I mean? She was taken care of, boarded with family, whatever. Made a calendar of BBJ to sell and exploit her. Yeah, that's all she does is exploit her. She's like,
and this is part of her issue. She actually said in that War and Peace link community post that she wasn't going to be listening to people anymore. And here she is believing that somebody said in her chat that they made a calendar of BBJ to sell. That is not for sale. That was something that was done by Frenchie out of the goodness of her heart, because she wanted to do something for the community, because everybody on the side of Girl World actually likes and cares about BBJ, unlike Foodie and her flunkies. That would be no different than me doing the situation with the hat. I mean, there was a conversation when it came up on Frenchie's channel. Somebody, I think Marty, said something about the hats. And Foodie said, oh my God, there's going to be a bidding war. And I was really quick to dispel it. I went on there and made a comment. I said, these hats are not for sale. I'm giving them away. And they are not Foodie's hats. They are just look-alike hats. You know, just something fun to do for everybody, you know, so that people can actually have a hat versus having to use like the picture, you know. I mean, Foodie needs to understand the difference between the two. And she needs to actually know what she's talking about versus taking what the people in her chat are saying as the gospel, because they lie to her intentionally to get her riled up. If she thinks that these people care about her, then the level of delusion is off the charts.
Looks like she's more starving and unhealthy than she's ever been, you know? And you can't blame that on me, because if you look at the side-by-side pictures when she was with me and compared to now, she's just letting her suffer. I'm not addressing that anymore. I've made peace with it, moving on, and that's it. Have a new cat, new life, goodbye. Exactly. Everything's private now. Yeah, I love it. Boring for you, but good for me. No worries, yeah. She was with family. She was somewhere. They're trying to pick anything to show hate, yeah. And as usual, yeah. What else is new? You know, she's here and she's healthy. Like, I don't know why that's a big deal.
She is not going to be entirely healthy so long as there's the prospect that she can go into heat again, and she's left open to all sorts of issues that come with actually having her reproductive organs still. That's why it's a big deal to people, and that's what I don't think she gets, you know. Right, exactly. I don't think so either. And realistically, they won't, so long as she continues on ordering out food every day. And it's going to piss her off when she finds out that she's going to have to sacrifice her immediate wants and needs to be able to actually take care of this cat the way it's supposed to be. The difference is that Sala actually cares about Julia. That's Sala's cat. Foodie can make the claim that it's hers, but it's not. Cats pick their people, and Julia has picked Sala. The only time Julia gives her any attention is when she's eating, because she knows Foodie will give her food, and that's all. Exactly. Don't take much to be smarter than Foodie, though, you know? Well, that's true, but, you know, she thinks she's more capable than she is. I mean, but then this is the same woman who says she's more attractive than 90% of us, so, you know. Exactly. She doesn't. For Foodie, everything with her is transaction based and has always been. Her relationship with her grandmother has been about grandma letting her do what she wants, giving her food anytime she wants. Her relationship with her mom was that way. Her relationship with BB was that way because she was with BB because BB gave her a place to live. Her relationship with Pete's has been that way because Pete's was somebody to have there to pop and fetch and run every time she hollered his name. His name was the one that was on the lease because she couldn't sign for herself. Nader's was dick and attention and drugs. And now Sala is just simply being able to say that she has a husband. It has always been transactional for her. Anytime it has stopped being transactional, she has rebelled and gone after that person. I mean, take a look at Shannon. When Shannon stopped being beneficial for her and actually started to call her out on some of the stuff that she was doing, she turned on her with a quickness. And realistically, during her friendship with Shannon, it was her opportunity to be able to be invited to go places and have people to go with, and have people there to support her because she's very awkward socially. We know this. Otherwise, she would actually have friends, which she doesn't because she doesn't know really how to be friends with people. So, I mean, this is no surprise that she views it this way. And she'll never understand it. She's just not meant to, I don't think. I agree. She does need to be brushed. And I hope realistically that Sala is picking up the mantle on that. Because if it's left to Foodie, then yeah, we're going to end up with this, with Julia in the same state that BBJ was in. Yeah. And that's generally the way it goes. Every time her mother has actually tried to do something with her involving some sort of discipline, she has utilized her grandmother as a loophole. I mean, she did the same thing when they put her in the psych ward to try to get her some help because she's got so many mental issues. And then she turned around and called her grandmother and had her grandmother get her out. So, I mean, she is real big on the manipulation. Mm-hmm. No doubt. No, she can't. And that's what I was saying. Like when I talked to Gigi, I was like, the fact is that Foodie gets a lot of hate and dislike from people because she'll say stuff and then say, I never said that. If she would flat out just say, look, I'm full of shit. I just run my mouth. I don't remember half the shit that I say. So don't listen to me. She would probably actually get a better response. They would actually be viewed as more authentic.
And my other cats have had them for years. In my videos, they were well taken care of.
That's bullshit.
Private and lies. I didn't lie. She's like boarding is putting her somewhere. She didn't stay here. She was staying with somebody. I'm trying to be vague, not to lie. Well, you do more cooking and grocery hauls. Yes. BBJ's a queen. Yes. Yep.
That is the only nice thing that she said about BBJ in ages.
It's that she has to spend her last days with someone who doesn't like hats and who is a piece of crap. But what can we do?
First off, I'm going to say this. I am a cat person, okay? I have had a dog, one dog, my whole life, just me, okay? By myself, taken care of. I am not a dog person, but if I ended up in a situation like the last dog that I had, her name was Serenity. She was a little mutt dog. A friend of mine was at a rehab facility, and Serenity was their mascot dog. Serenity was terrified of lightning, and this facility had screened-in porches. Well, the hurricane season came through. The lightning storms were pretty prevalent that year, and she ripped a hole in the screen to get onto the porch so that she felt safe. And the people that ran the facility repaired the screen 2-3 times and then started having the discussion about taking Serenity to the pound. Serenity, when she showed up at the rehab facility, you could tell that she had been in an abusive home, that she had never been fixed because she had had multiple litters of puppies. I mean, it showed physically. And I have her vet papers from there, where the vet actually said that she had so many litters of puppies that it actually aged her a little bit physically. And when the conversation came up about them taking her to the pound, because I had met Serenity, I had been up there to visit and go to meetings and things. My friend that was staying at the facility to get sober actually asked them, begged them to call me. And she called me upset and she told me that they were going to send Serenity to the pound. And I told them, I said, y'all hang on to her. I will be there tomorrow to pick her up. And I went the next day and I picked Serenity up, and Serenity stayed with me for several years, just her, me, and my cats. And she loved all animals and they got along great. Then I started working a job where I was on call and I would be out for long hours. And I started taking Serenity to my mom and dad's house for day trips, and so that she could have other dogs to play with. Well, she decided that she liked my mom and dad's house better and eventually wouldn't get in the car with me to come home with me. And I cried like a little girl with a skint knee for days because I loved her. And I let her stay from that point, which was probably the last 3 years of her life. I let her stay with my mom and dad. And my mom and dad loved her and took care of her the same way that they took care of their dogs. But Serenity is the only dog that I've ever had. I say all that to say this. If something happened tomorrow and I came across a dog that needed somebody to take care of them, I would take that dog. I would bring that dog home with me, and that dog would be my dog. If I could not find somebody that would love and care for that animal, that would be my dog from that point forward. I don't have a great love for dogs, but I love all animals. And doing the right thing by an animal does not mean that you have to be a dog person or a cat person. All you have to do is be willing to care. And even though Frenchie has made it clear over and over again that she's not really a cat person, it doesn't mean that she doesn't care about BBJ. And that's something that Foodie doesn't seem to understand. Foodie having a disdain for dogs does not equal up to Frenchie having a disdain for cats. She is just not really a cat person, you know? So, I mean, the rationale behind this woman's head is just beyond me. You don't have to love a particular type of animal to care about animals, you know? So I'm refuting all her bullshit on that. I have a dog. We recently rescued a cat and I love him. He's basically a dog. He loves being outside. Girl, let me tell you, little mama loves to bring in animals. She loves to catch the lizards around here and bring them in the house. And I was just like, ooh, because once they get in here, she chases them until they disappear under furniture. And then I don't ever see them again until I'm cleaning or something. And then by that point, they're kind of dehydrated, I guess. Yeah, he was trying to feed you. That's what he was trying to do. He was saying, thank you for taking care of me. You feed me and now I'm going to feed you. Well, they don't understand that. They're not wired like we are. Right. Her animals are simply things for her. They are one more thing for her to claim that she has. They give her whatever she needs emotionally in the moment when it arises. And that's basically all they're there for, you know. That's exactly what I said, Henny, that she's going to be pissed when she finds out that that's what's going to happen. The fact that Sala actually genuinely cares about Julia is what's going to bite her in the ass, because he is going to make sure that whatever money is necessary to get her fixed is going to come about, because that's just the way it is. Julia has made Sala her person, and Sala cares about the cat. So he's actually going to do it, but it's going to make Foodie very angry because it's going to be an inconvenience to her. Sometimes they don't always kill them before they bring them to you. So you got that going for you at least.
Did he steal Mario footage? No.
Yes, that's been confirmed.
He put the credit in the thing. All the editing is his.
He put the credit in the description after he was called out.
And the people accusing him of stealing are going to act like they don't steal my content every day.
Foodie doesn't seem to understand the difference. He took this man's footage and simply talked over it. That does not make it his. Taking Foodie's content like I am done right now, and I have paused, added to it, refuted, done my thing. This is what makes it transformative. She needs to actually, Heffa needs to watch some YouTube videos on what makes a video transformative, for fuck's sake.
Sounds hypocritical, doesn't it? It's a Kia Optima. 2016, baby. It's still going strong, and I'm going to use it. No, I won't be using it. That's the thing. For all you know, I sold it. Right now it's parked. I might let someone use it, like in my family. I don't know. They didn't tow it. No, it's being looked after. The car is going boarded. Yes. You don't.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me back this up because Jordy came through with some realness in the side chat there. Hang on. Let me find it and let me pause it.
They didn't tow it. No.
Okay. Right here over to the side. This is Jordy. Jordy is running a second channel called Unicorn Pondu. He actually says giving an opinion versus pretending to play a game you don't own is a bit different. And do you notice that Foodie just completely avoided that conversation altogether because she knew she had no way to refute what he was saying?
It's being looked after. The car is going boarded. Yes. You don't know she's being taken care of. You see still photos. That's all you see. You're so brainwashed. You don't even care to see the truth. At least with me, she was in videos. You have like 2 photos of where my house was messy when I was depressed.
Two photos. We have 2 stills that were taken out of one of many videos. Well, I'm going to tell you, I ended up in like a whole situation right before I moved, like 2-3 days before I moved. Little mama went outside because I was opening the doors and windows to air the house out real good while I cleaned and to let them kind of wander around like right outside the front door. They never go far from the front door because, you know, any noise and they run back in the house. But little mama, I heard her yowling and here she comes and she brings me a baby mouse. And I was just like wigging the fuck out because I'm like, first off, I don't know where it came from. You know, I don't know where it came from to go put it back. You know, there's no telling where she found it. Number 2, I don't want to kill it because it's a little baby. It's completely defenseless. You know, I just don't feel right about that. So I put it in a container and I gave it some water and I gave it some food and I started posting it on Facebook and I was like, can somebody please for the love of God, come get this mouse. I don't care what you do with it. I just don't want it in my house. Well, over the course of the next couple of hours as I'm cleaning, she brought me in 2 more and they all ended up in the same container. And for 2 days, I was working trying to find somebody to take these mice. And thankfully, there was a lady that lived locally that she is big time animal lover. She has mice. She's had rats before. She's had snakes, you name it. Well, somebody forwarded that post to her and she reached out to me and was like, hey, you know, do you still have the mice? I was like, yes, I do. I'm like, are you willing to come get them? She was like, I absolutely am. And I was like, praise Jesus. Thank you, Lord Almighty. Because all I could think is, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? True enough, but you know, that'll never happen, Rally. Well, she is apparently taking a break because of her being sick. But it'll be back. We know it will.
Big deal. All of those videos for years of her being taken care of. Okay, and my villa's always a mess. Not always. A lot of the time, though, yeah. But not really. Some parts, yeah. Anyway, I'm not talking about things that happened a year ago. It's just not going to happen. So
they're still happening now. That's the part that I can't see how she doesn't see it.
I actually don't miss Canada. I don't. At all. I miss my family and that's about it. But I like living here. I have my minifan. So yeah, if the war breaks out, we come back to Canada. No, I'm not gonna come back. I'm here for a long while, guys.
I don't believe that. I have a feeling that if any of that started stepping toward where they're at, I can almost guarantee you that she would be back in Canada and she would be doing everything that she could to try to get Sala over there with her.
And then hopefully, I'm not ready to travel again. Like, I wanted to travel again, but I need a break. And I just wanted to relax and chill out for a while. I'm okay. I'll be all right. I'm going to get off soon. Everybody has haters. Anybody relevant or a little bit relevant, even people who have very little subscribers, everybody has haters.
Not true. Not really. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I've only had one email over this entire time frame that I've been on here. I don't have anybody making rebuttal videos. I haven't had anybody really say anything out of the way. And those emails that I got from that one person, I don't really even consider that to be what it is because, certain people have stands that'll go in hard like that, or it'll be whoever it is you're talking about who's using a sock account. But, I don't have people who really hate me. Not really. Not that I'm aware of anyway. But then at the same time, I'm not a butthole to people either. Take a look at milk tea as an example. Up until your mama started doing these rebuttals to her, milk tea didn't have anybody speak negatively of her other than Foodie. So, that doesn't, her thought process on that doesn't make any sense, if you know what I mean. Whose stream are y'all talking about? I may want to watch that. She absolutely does, because physically she's not hacking it, man. Oh, I'm curious to see now. Right. I have said stuff. I've called the girl a heifer, but I call myself a heifer. So it ain't like that can be made into a big thing. I've made my jokes, but I don't personally attack her. I am literally just talking about the stuff that she is bringing up and the stuff that she's showing us. It's really just that simple, Thank you, Vanessa. I'm so glad. I am so glad. Set of pepperoni. Oh my God. What video is this? Amber can't understand that. No, she can't. No, it doesn't. Her egg is all kind of scrambled. So was it Foodie? Okay, well, all right. God's honest truth. God's honest truth. We might have to watch that after we're done with this, because we almost done with this.
You do it for money like everyone else. Well, that's part of it, yeah. But I like it too. That's part of it, yeah. But I like it too as well, Jane. I'm not visiting family for Christmas, no. I'll miss them, yeah, for sure. I'm not visiting. It's the major part of it. Yeah, anybody does anything for money, of course. But I've learned a lot. Like,
I don't.
Not as... I used to just spend my money so frivolously, Like, just like spending hundreds and hundreds on lunch. Now I just get what I need.
Says by the woman who wants to pay $200 for a Dior lipstick.
What do you mean? On my cheek, it's a pimple, a healing pimple that's been healing forever. I don't know what a cystic acne.
It's been healing forever. Okay, first off, that thing has not healed yet. Number one, because she never washes her face. Number two, because she's a diabetic, and diabetics take forever to heal. She better hope that damn thing doesn't turn gangrenous, because that pretty face of hers will be beyond fucked.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's such a lot. You have to be careful with your money and responsible. For sure.
Maybe I need to clip that and put that up for her too.
I was way too immature, irresponsible. I didn't care about anything. Hi, Annie. It's more groceries. Nowadays, sometimes some places have it's cheaper to eat there than buy groceries to make it.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? Do I sleep all day? No. I never really sleep. There's been a few times, like back in Canada, I was really depressed. When I was sick, I would sleep more, but not all day. No.
We already know that that's a lie.
Now that the weather's nice, I like to go out, but I'm not gonna go live just for running errands or doing basic things. I don't know. But I think there's a lot more things we're gonna do for sure now that we're better and everything. And the weekends are too busy here, the traffic jams, Juma, Friday and Saturday. So we're just gonna there's so many things. There's so many malls, really huge, nice malls. There's Winter Wonderland. There's all kinds of things. We can go see Old Souks, beach it.
Places that we've already seen, basically.
Could you vlog your housewife life? That's not boring for you guys? I find that boring content to do. I don't know. When I clean, I don't like to wear my baya and my hijab. That's one thing. Two, I like to listen to something, So it's hard for me to get the motivation to film those kind of mundane things.
Let's just call it. She's listening to reaction channels while she's cleaning, y'all.
I have nothing. That's what you think. I think I have a lot. We have an apartment, we have cats, I have a loving husband, we have a car. What more do I want? For me, I don't judge my success in life as having material possessions that when I die are going to be left here.
Everything that you own when you die, what little bit there is going to be left there to somebody else. That is an unfortunate side effect of how we are designed, and you can't take stuff with you. The fact is, though, is that you don't own anything. You have no security. We've had that conversation. You know, the woman is Delulu.
Experiences are more important. Learning, spiritual journey, love. Love is priceless.
She doesn't have either of those.
And I have a lot of, so thank you. I think I'm doing very well.
And what spiritual journey have we seen from her? I mean, there has been no shift in her personality in the slightest. If anything, actually, her personality has gotten worse because now she lashes out and then tries to hide behind the religion.
No. It's not. Oh. No. Listen, guys. Hi, man. Does this taste the biscuit?
Yeah.
So yeah, just to answer that, if you remember before I met Salah, he had his own place, his own car, his own everything. So yeah, you can definitely support, but I don't want to quit YouTube. I like doing social media and take that away from me. So keep your judgments to yourself. Thanks.
First off, Foodie had a shoebox. Foodie Salah had a shoebox, and he had a secondhand vehicle that was probably 10, 12 years old. He was in basically about the same state that she was in. So of course she doesn't see it as anything beneath her. But realistically, I mean, having her around and the money that she brings in has elevated him, but not her.
Why would he need more than a bachelor place secret? Why home shaming?
Oh, that's an interesting concept coming from the woman who likes to call people, living in the Motel 6 and the shed and the trap house and everything else.
Yes, his business is still doing well. I love this packaging. I won't show you the contact info, but they come like this. The perfumes in nice packaging. I love it. It's cute. we give them as gifts, or he gives them as gifts to like people, family.
Okay. So there's that. Now let's see. Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Small batch bourbon, aged to perfection. Bibb and Tucker, where bold and refined come together.
All right, before we get into that, let me catch up on all this stuff. Right. Transactional through and through, my dude. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Let's see. Yeah. Exactly. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not the brightest bulb, but he's definitely smarter than her. Yep. Well, I mean, if it's as cringeworthy as it sounds, I have a feeling this is going to be interesting. All right. So we're going to go. Oh, we didn't have any cameo in this one, y'all. This one was put out with a quickness. We must be working on paycheck money.
Hello, foodie booties. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, guys. Hello. All right. This is not delivery, and it's not Delicio either. It's Beezeroni pepperoni. It's if I lean my head back, you can't really see me.
I love how she says that like every video of hers isn't like that.
Anyway, you don't need to see me. So,
number one, I'm not even entirely sure that that's pepperoni. That really looks more like salami. But that's just me. Two, what the is that supposed to be? Because, I mean, first off, you got like whole sections of pizza that ain't even got pepperoni on it. You got whole sections of pizza that ain't even got olives on it. You know what? I've been wanting pizza for a little minute now. I think I might make me a homemade pizza tomorrow and show y'all what a difference there is in it.
This is homemade pizza. Yeah. Everything from scratch. Well, not the cheese
Y'all, she's fucking up that little portable table with that knife.
and pepperoni, but I made, and not the sauce, I made the pizza dough with flour, yeast, sugar, olive oil, salt, some water. Wow, it's perfectly done. Look at that in the middle. I have a
It's actually overdone.
knife for this. I can cook, I tell you. I never took any classes. It's like a little crispy, but soft in the center.
Yeah, we can tell she never took any classes. I love how she's throwing that out there.
How am I going to cut this? There's a pepperoni in the middle of where I want to cut.
That irks the piss out of me. I wish she would stop doing that shit.
If I cut weird shapes, it's going to... Okay, I'm just going to eat it like a moon. Oh, here we go. I made salad pepperoni. This is pepperoni and black olive. So he's enjoying that to himself. Ow, ow. It's right out of the oven. Like, I was waiting. I was standing there going...
You don't say. That's pretty much every time their food is involved.
You ready yet? Anyway. So, it's Halloween, you know. My step-grandmother would give me so much crap for licking the knife. I'm an adult now, and I can do what I want. Ah!
There's that oppositional defiance disorder. I'm going to love it one day when she slices her damn tongue open.
Anyway, Capri Sun. The straws were always a pain in these things. There is
Bologna pizza.
so much satisfaction.
Yeah.
Out of
She might as
making
well at this point. Just fold it in half.
your own. I need to chug water. Water's for chugging, juices for sipping.
Shout out to the diabetes, y'all.
That's my new rule. Otherwise, I just go through too much juice. So, strawberry, I feel like it's...
Okay, I will say this, just so y'all know. When the time comes that I do get to a point where I can set up like that partial partnership thing, I'm not going to be doing memberships or anything like that, but I will be doing merch, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a shout out to the diabetes shirt.
Good. I never got these as a kid. I wasn't that lucky. My mom gave me papaya juice.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. Ow, ow, ow. Still too hot. Ow, ow. I need to eat it. Do you want a baby bite?
Look at how slimy that is, y'all.
Baby bite.
Jesus Christ.
And I have ketchup to dip because I don't have ranch. And well, the pizza sauce is yummy. So I put some pizza sauce, and then I put some Parmesan cheese, and then some mozzarella. I mixed, his was like a mixed cheese pizza. Just 2 cheese.
I got to turn her down just a
Cheese is too
smidgen.
expensive these days. I'm going to cut it even smaller. So yeah, that's his favorite.
You're on a Carnival cruise
Oh, hell.
at Amber Cove.
Sorry, y'all.
3 generations of
Of course, she puts ketchup all over her
Clifton
pizza.
State.
It's like she doesn't want to taste it at all.
standing hand in hand, ready to push off of the...
Bismillah.
The problem is she doesn't have any other knives, so she uses that one for everything.
I made this.
La dee.
When you make your pizza, you can control the toppings.
You don't say.
I was really tired, like If I go down for a nap and I get up, I'm like a bear out of hibernation.
She kind of looks like a bear, but a hairless one.
Anyway. Oh, sorry. Gotta calm down. Alright.
Right?
That's delicious.
She makes the claim. She claims that she
So-
made the crust too, but I don't believe that.
I thought I would retell one of my favorite ghost stories.
Oh, fuck that noise.
There's a couple.
Oh, fuck that noise.
I gotta make some bread. Now that I have flour, yeast.
I'll believe that when I see it. Right? She'd be a hell of a component for cage fighting.
The husband is Jim. And I don't know what the wife's name is.
Second-hand
So they
constipation.
started
Love it.
noticing some strange goings on in their home.
Yeah, I see that. It's irksome, isn't it? Exactly.
For me, I mean, they just lived in a normal suburban house. Makes it creepier. Magnifico. Anyway.
Her standard for Magnifico is really on the low side because, I mean, we know the girl doesn't really have much in the way of taste buds. She's pretty much fried them, you know. I mean, she thinks beefaroni is actually a meal, which is surprising to me because I've never met anybody past the age of 12 that finds that stuff good unless they're just broke.
So.
And our Capri Sun loaded with sugar.
One night, we'll say Betty. Betty got up, swinging his arm. I don't know why this detail always gets me, but and I don't know if these people are just full of it. Oh, freaking! I bit my cheek. That makes me so angry. Feel bad for me. Okay. Anyway,
Right.
So she gets no answer from Jim because Jim's in La La Land. You know, she just thinks, well, maybe I'm half dreaming or something weird, you know. I mean, Jim is probably like, oh yeah, crazy woman. Anyway.
You know what, y'all? First off, we done kind of saw what we needed to see out of that because the God's honest truth. I mean, Vanessa said it. She is the worst fucking storyteller ever. And I mean, she is doing the absolute bare minimum just so she can try to make some money off the fact that she's fixing to inhale an entire pizza by herself, you know? Realistically, this one has probably got more to it than the other one does. Shut up. Let's just see. Oh, can we also point out here the fact that she's going through all this effort to decorate for Halloween, and she's talking about Halloween, and she's telling ghost stories, but that's supposed to be haram in her current practiced religion.
Hello, foodie booties. Hello, users. What the?
Fuck your cameo. We're gonna turn that down because she's got this shitty ass music. All right. Wait. All right. Since she wants to give it to us, I mean, what the hell else are we going to do? I mean, we're going to talk about it. All right. See right here. There's a little bit of matting there. There's a little bit of matting there. Let's see. There's the start of some right there. Tell me you're not brushing your cat without telling me you're not brushing your cat. Okay? This is what this cat's fur should look like right here. Right through there. See how it's all nice and separate, and it's all of it is kind of hanging out on its own. But right here, it's all bundled up and clumpy. All through down here. That cat ain't been brushed. Exactly. God's honest truth, if Sala gave two shits about Julia, he would take her to the vet or to the groomer and have them give her a line cut like right now, and just let her do without and just have a line cut and be done, because she is not going to keep this cat brushed. Jesus Christ, leave the cat alone, woman. Yeah, I know. And here we are. She woke this cat up just for the pure sake of waking this cat up. Leave the fucking cat alone, lady. Let's cut right through that. I'm pretty sure.
So I had a nap.
All of this, you see she's at 8 minutes. That puts her just at enough to be able to qualify this thing for an ad. She threw all that crap together just to make it meet the time frame. That's it. Lazy.
Between both groceries, hauls. This one, I just took my asthma medication. This one is, how much was this one? Okay, so I'm gonna start with
Don't
the
you do
frozen.
that.
Stuff here. I have some chicken livers. That's for salad. Oops. Some chicken breast. Some frozen strawberries. Water. Some random water. And some slightly seasoned potato wedges.
That's just what she needs. More carbohydrates.
I'm gonna put the chicken.
Another thing too, how lazy is that when she could buy, for whatever she paid for that, a package of potatoes and make her own potato wedges in the air fryer, and they would probably taste better and be healthier.
Oops, I'm gonna start this one in a bag. Then we have some.
Yeah, she is not looking happy.
This is like an Indian potato dish. Some more frozen corn. Some frozen whitefish. Got more frozen than I thought. Some super spirals. We have a lot of French fries.
I could see that.
And I like these, so these are vegetables of the day. And another random water.
She says she likes those, the whole vegetables of the day, but do you notice we've never seen them eat those?
So every bag they put a water inside? Okay, well thank you. Alright, I'm gonna put this away. Yellow. Oh, this looks nice. We also have some ground beef. Alright, eggs. This is like less.
I do not understand the eggs. She had 2 whole trays of those in there when she opened up that refrigerator to show them that the fridge was empty.
And $1.75 or something. Alright, these were on sale as well. Very cheap. And I like these drinks, but
I'm sure she does. They're nothing but sugar.
Capri Sun, strawberry, one strawberry.
Right?
This is
That's another thing, and I don't understand that. Why? Okay. I have included, like in one of the videos that I did, just because I was getting tickled when I was doing the recordings for my first zombie video. I included some clips from that because I was laughing at myself about how many times I was saying bloody hell and I was messing up and saying I'm a fucking genius and stuff like that. But whenever I have had my phone or a camera fall over, I have never, not once, put that in a vlog, and I never will, because that's just rude. But you see, she includes it every single time. The level of lazy is just unbelievable to me. I mean, that you're supposed to be a professional at this.
Glowforge Aura, your personal craft laser. Plug it in, connect, and push.
And one orange. Okay. So we have these like pre-made things. I don't really like these, but still I like some. This is a pizza. Cheese and za'atar puff. And another pizza.
That right there explains what Saul is eating aside from the stuff that she's making.
Some marshmallow candy. Some Reese's. Some 3-in-1. This brand I've never tried, but it's supposed to be like Nescafe. Oh my gosh. And saffron. Look at the little bottle of saffron. We have some 7 spices. Baking paper, parchment paper. Put that here.
Shout out to the diabetes, y'all.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeast.
Yeah, yeast.
She sat there and stared at that packaging, looking at it, not knowing what that is.
And butter chicken paste. You add like your cream and stuff separate, but there's all the spices in there already. So, okay, we have some ramen. We have some microwavable dishes. Flour, 2 kgs. And some hot dog buns.
That's something that I don't understand. They be buying the hell out of hot dog buns and for using them everything, not hot dog buns. Oh, they be buying buns for everything and be using them for everything but what they're actually meant for. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just buy some actual bread or make some bread?
It's like they knew I would need this water. Lettuce. All 2 kilos of most of the things here. 2 kilos of limes. Everything was 75 cents per kilo.
That's funny, but I can see that.
4 of those because we share. Red onions. Whole bag of cucumbers.
I'll tell you the part that gets me is they've ordered all these vegetables, but she said when she opened that refrigerator that all the vegetables in the fridge were good.
Bag of eggplants.
And that's another thing she buys. We have never seen her make a meal with eggplant.
Bag of tomatoes.
2 kilos of carrots.
I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I gotta go grocery shopping tomorrow, and I am going to be finding me some tomatoes because for like the last hour, I've been wanting a tomato sandwich so bad, so bad.
I'm gonna have to find a place for this in the fridge. All right. Well, that's about it for this. So I'm gonna try to find somewhere to put these vegetables. Most of them in the fridge, or put them away. So yeah, that's it for the haul. The grand total was, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And as much as I didn't enjoy making it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
She laughs, but you know that's actually her being truthful. God's on it, as bad as that sounds. She doesn't enjoy half the stuff that she claims that she does, and I don't even know what the deal is with that. But oh, sorry, y'all. I had to check on that. All I heard, I don't know if y'all could hear it, but a growling. Boo Man is asleep, so apparently he's having a not so nice dream. I had to lean over to look to see what that was. So y'all, we have gone over everything that I had and then some. We have done the damn thing today, y'all. No doubt about it. So that to me has been a pretty successful recap of everything, unless there's something that you guys want to see that we haven't covered while we're here. No, they're not, but just depends on what you plan on doing with them. I'm inclined to agree with that. Some of that I do think is going to his family because there's a bunch of shit that they ordered that they are not, we have never seen them eat, and I don't think we ever will. Right. No, she won't, Travis. I agree. No problem at all. I mean, you guys were here to have a good time with me. I was going to be live anyway. I'm glad we were able to have some fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But there was something else to that, though, because, she was acting like something had rubbed her the wrong way. Oh, real quick. On the makeup front, before I wash this stuff off, and I'm going to have to tag her in it. The makeup artist, because y'all know how light my eyebrows are. The makeup artist gave me eerie pepperoni eyebrows. I'm rocking the pepperoni eyebrow. I just thought that was really funny when she had me turn sideways so that I couldn't see, and I think I only kind of glanced once, and she at the end of it she was like, "Okay, you can take a look now," and I turned and looked, and all I could see was Eerie Pepperoni's eyebrows. I was like, she hooked me up with the Eerie. I'm rocking the pepperoni today. Oh, I don't mind it. That's probably the darkest my eyebrows have ever been in my entire life. She actually made them longer too. I think she traced all the way out to where I've got just a couple of little hairs out here. And then she went where the hairs are real thin, sparse and everything right there and just filled everything in. But I don't mind it. I probably wouldn't have done it myself, but they turned out really good. I was actually hoping for something a little darker. But I told her, kind of what I was after, and I told her about my costume. And she actually pulled up on Pinterest, and I was complaining. I gotta tell you no lie, I was complaining in the truck after she did it for a minute because I was just like, there's a lot of pink in there. And then I couldn't. Okay, I know you guys can't see. See how she drew this thing on my forehead like that? It's okay. I'm all right with it. But, it was kind of a shock. I didn't really realize exactly what she was doing there, until after. But, she showed me the picture of what she was trying to do. And she said, well, kind of like this one and kind of like this one, but I'm going to kind of meld them together sort of thing. And I was just like, okay. And that's where like the dots on the eyes, like all the way up kind of came from. So, I've just kind of went with it, the way I figure it, it turned out better either way than if I had tried to do it, because again, I have no skill and I would have looked like a drunk clown that fell into a puddle after a long night, stuff smeared everywhere and blotchy and all that stuff. So yeah, I am so glad you guys think so, because I was just kind of like, I took a picture to send my dad because he had sent me those pictures of him and the step monster. And I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Thank you. I had it done and I was finally able to get my hair lady that I've been with for years to tell me what color that auburn was. And when I took it in, I gave the lady that I'm seeing now the info. So now the ends of my hair match my roots a lot better than they did. So, definite improvement. And then we took about 2 inches off of it. So, yeah. I was actually going to take one of those wave irons to my hair, like the one Ambular was using. But I was just like, that's going to take a while. And I don't know if I want to invest that amount of time just to turn around and brush it all out after the stream is over, because I always brush my hair before I go to bed. So I'm going to get this, after we close this out, I'm going to get what little bit of footage from today uploaded. And then I am calling it a wrap on Vlogtober for this year. As of this point, because I had said at some point that I would do Vlogmas 2, and I'm not 100% sure that I want to do that now that I have been through Vlogtober. But I will figure that out as I go, because it isn't like I won't have plenty of stuff to do in December too. But, I will figure that out between now and then, I thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. Having you guys here just to hang out and just shoot the breeze with, it makes some of my nights really fun, I know I'm not like 100% like entertaining all the time, for the most part, but I try. And I mean, realistically, us just being able to bounce things off each other and just have random conversations is part of what makes this whole thing so fun. It's on my forehead from drinking with your family. Dude, you'll be lucky if that's all you end up with if you pass out around anybody. If you pass out drunk around people, you are going to you are fair game, Hannibal. All right, I'm going to kick off of here. We have been at it almost 4 hours, and it is now officially November the 1st, you guys. So I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Everybody on the replay, I appreciate you guys for stopping in. I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight and all the way through Vlogtober. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate all the support. All the support. You guys have made this process fun for me. I will be rolling back through soon. Not tomorrow, but soon. I will still vlog, but not every day. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. I hope your night goes amazing. And I will catch up with you guys soon. Take care. Bye, y'all.